Welcome to what I believe is episode 9. Yes, episode 9, pretty sure, of the Formula Hooligan podcast. I am Alex Gomes. You are?
Charlie Hosey.
And who the hell are you?
Yeah, what's going on?
Nick Mercer.
All right. Can you tell me why you are on the show today?
It's my last week in NHKA. I'm going off to Michigan State next week.
Yep.
So,
Congrats.
yeah.
That's the boring answer. What's
Wait,
the
what
real
year are
answer?
I won today.
That's right.
That's the real
That's
Yeah,
right.
well,
Don't forget it. Very good job today, sir. Yes. Mr. Nick Mercer here won today's tag senior race that we had. Yep. We had the.
So this is. No, never mind. Okay.
What?
I was gonna say this is the guy that beat you today.
Yes. no,
I don't
fair
know.
and square.
He
Fair and
came
square.
from the back. I think in 2 more minutes he would have got me.
Okay. And I was
It's
not
deba-
here
you know,
today,
it's
by
one-
the way, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know
going
you
on.
weren't even here to. I mean, it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass. So you never know. You never do
Where
know.
did you start?
I started 6th.
6, and you started
Dead last.
dead last.
Yeah.
Well, that's your own fault. You got to put the transponder on
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah. Well, just get out of the way now. I forgot to put on my transponder for qualifying, so I wasn't being scored, which means I started from the back.
Unbelievable.
Oh, boy.
But drove all the way back up to. How many people were in our class today?
Oh, my dad has I want to say like 16, 17.
Oh, really?
As like a random
What's
guess.
the class normally, size-wise?
It's usually over 20.
Yeah.
There's a few guys, though, I've noticed that have sold their carts online or are trying to sell their carts online.
Yeah.
I know Kevin Kavanaugh, sorry if I'm screwing that name up, he's done the 4 races so far, but then he ran out of money and just ran out of time because he's at other obligations, so he was trying to sell his cart. Remember the cart that was camouflage?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, that guy he's trying to sell his cart, too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know what the excuse is.
And,
What's up, Vic?
My good buddy Thor. He
Not
sold
too
his
bad.
cart
Good.
too because he went off to England for school.
Oh, yeah,
So
really?
He sold his cart.
Yep. Who was that?
Thor. 45.
Oh, yes, in the red suit there?
Yeah.
Yep.
What I don't understand
Yeah.
about all those carts for sale, everyone gives each other so much shit. It seems like they're like,
What?
what? This cart's not worth that. Maybe I'm thinking of other posts I see. Maybe it's not NHK related. But it seems like I'm always getting carts for sale popping up on my Facebook marketplace. And
Yeah,
they're
well,
always
you-
like, this is a shifter cart, and it's really like, it's like a junior or something, you know? Like people don't know what they have. They're just trying to unload it.
Oh, I have yet to see that. I would call it out, too, if I saw that. Be like, buddy,
Oh, you would?
really
yeah,
got
I don't like
like
people
a...
like that. You know, it's like keep your comments to yourself, you know?
Yep. Yep. But yeah, Nick, congratulations.
Thank
Your
you.
first win in the tag senior class. Very, like by the, what do I want to say? Like by the script to do it on your last weekend that you're here with us.
Yeah.
Which is pretty friggin' cool, dude.
You'll be running tomorrow too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, it's not
Alright.
over. It
Yeah.
really isn't
All right,
over.
nice.
Yeah,
So we
there's
got
more
one
racing
last
to
duo
go.
then tomorrow.
Yeah, just go.
Mhm.
Hopefully
Don't forget your transponder.
Yeah, hopefully he can go bring his transponder so we have
Why
a good
was it
fight.
off anyway? Wouldn't you just keep it on it?
Well, I got to charge it. So I had it charging. I threw it in my bag, and it stayed in my bag until somebody told me, like, you don't have a transponder on there. And I was like,
Whoops.
oh.
Oh no.
Oh, no. I laugh. I mean, I don't know. It's fun to come from the back, and that's what
Yeah.
I
I
did,
mean-
you know?
Yeah, those are my funnest races.
Right,
Coming
yeah,
from
yeah. It's the
back.
ones that are most memorable. Or I diced through 14 people today. That's
so
pretty cool.
you almost pulled a Lewis Hamilton, essentially. Except
Oh,
Lewis
yeah.
came third. He
At
came
the,
from back.
at the Hungary
Yeah.
race. Correct. Yep. Yep. Charlie, you did not race today.
No, I didn't. So
What did you spend
happened
your
in
day-
World Formula Light today?
Well, Formula Light was pretty interesting. You had some guys playing it smart, and then the majority playing it where they just couldn't think while racing, and they kept trying to, dodge through each other, slowing each other down, while the leader just went woo, and just drove away.
And the leader was Ryan.
Rick Brown.
The leader,
Rick Brown,
yeah, the
right.
leader
Wow.
ended up being Rick Brown at the end, but it shuffled quite a
Yeah.
few times in the first half. Brett Repke had the lead early, and then
No way.
in a
Good.
lap or two,
Wow.
he got caught. Dave Nadeau, I don't know how to say his last
Yeah,
name.
thank you for the beers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nadeau.
yes. Once again, this episode is sponsored by Pioneer Valley Brewery.
Newport Propane.
And Newport Propane, as always, but we like these special
And
ones.
off bug spray today. They're brutal. So if you see us swatting, we aren't losing it.
Yeah.
Well,
You should.
maybe.
You should.
we aren't.
You got to hold that mic towards your face.
Sorry, buddy.
There you go.
I think I just sprayed my beer, but it's okay.
um,
Yep.
what were we talking about?
We're talking about World Formula.
Oh yeah. So
Formula,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So it was Brett
Hooligans.
Repke initially. Dave Nadeau had the lead for a little bit, like was fighting for it, and then he had problems coming out of. You haven't done the full course yet, have you?
No.
So you don't.
Can't wait.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. There's a chicane over here, right? And I guess coming out of the chicane, he had no power, and like he was coming out of the chicane, and all of a sudden, it just died, and he got rear-ended a few times because of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then he just eventually pulled it in.
Oh man.
'Cause something was
Yeah.
wrong. You don't want to run a motor longer than you need to when you know something's screwing
Yeah,
up.
and I
so.
imagine on the full track you're gonna know pretty quick.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, when you
that's
have
not
power
the only guy, right?
issues.
Christian was saying he had motor problems too.
Christian had some pretty bad motor problems. I don't know what exactly. We're all
I
thinking
don't think he
it's.
knows.
Well, we're all thinking. I was over there with him. We were all thinking it was carburetor related. He opened his carburetor and showed it to me, and it's like all like the bowl and the float are all like discolored and dirty, and I'm like, that's
Not looking
kind of
good.
gross, dude.
Don't look good.
And I guess he had crap inside the jets too, which is supposed to be nothing in there. So even though he cleaned those out before going out for the race, it was still crap. So I think he's just going to swap carburetors for tomorrow, which is fine. It's perfectly
Yeah,
legal.
no, I'm excited
Yeah.
to run with him. I haven't run with Christian since X1 Outdoors back when you were doing it. So that must
Yeah.
probably was like 2016.
You know what? Talking
Something
about
like
going back, where are your origins? Because I knew of you like 3 years ago, maybe 2. It's not that
Yeah.
long.
So
Because you were in World Formula with me.
Yeah, so I originally started a lot more indoor. I started up in Checkered Flag, up in Haverhill.
Okay, yep.
My first
Yep.
teacher was Tom Prioli.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
I bet you Tom's in bed already.
Yeah. And then I went to the F1 indoor leagues
Mm-hmm.
and the outdoor leagues as well in the summer. And probably up until when I was 13 or 14, racing was kind of just a hobby. Like I was big into hockey, big into baseball at the
Okay.
time.
Yep.
And then we got me outdoors. I rented from Mike, and I couldn't get away from it other than that. Raced 2 races that season, then broke my shoulder in a hockey game. Took me out of the season.
Oh, okay.
And then,
And they say racing's dangerous.
yeah, no, hockey's a little. That was a big hit I took.
Yeah, hockey, you're looking for hits.
Yeah.
So I
then
could see.
we bought a cart for the next season.
Yep.
Couldn't race the first 2 races of that season because I broke my wrist in a hockey tryout.
Jesus.
Yeah, hockey's sounding worse than racing at the moment.
And then ever since that, I haven't missed a race.
Cool,
So.
cool. So, I don't know if I missed it. Did you start in World Formula or did you have 206?
No, I went 206 Junior to World
206
Formula
Junior
Light.
to World Formula Light. Okay, because now, forgive me, because I'm not too familiar with the age thing, because I started as an adult. I really don't know how the kids' classes come up. So if you obviously made the jump from 206 Junior to Senior, would it have been the same jump to 206 Senior if you wanted to, but you just chose
Yeah,
World Formula?
it was all the same age group.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was
so
12
why
to
not,
15 and then 15 up for either.
Yeah, so why not go World Formula?
Yeah.
If you're just going to race around
Mike
here,
would have
you know?
wavered me in for the previous year, but I said, nah, just give me a year in 206 first.
Sure.
And then
Sure,
I'll
yeah.
go kick some ass in World Formula.
Yep. Which you did a decent job of, but I don't remember you winning, which is what makes today
No.
pretty fantastic.
I got a couple podiums in a couple years.
Yeah.
First half year, the first season was kind of just learning
Yep.
everything, and then towards the end of the kind of like this year, towards the end of the second half is when I really started to pick it up.
Yep.
Got a couple top fives, a 4th place, a podium that was taken away by you.
Sorry.
So I got to ask the obvious question though.
Yeah.
Not knowing much about 2-strokes, but what motor do you have?
A Rotex.
Yeah, he's got the
Oh,
Rotax.
Okay.
Yep, as a matter of fact, it's on his hat right there.
Yeah, not very observant. Whoops.
Nope. And he does drive a Mac Minarelli,
thought
just
it's-
like I do.
Yep.
Yep, proven to be very fast carts. You know, number 1 and 2, almost a 1, 2, 3 if Alessandro didn't have his problems.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was such a shame.
Yeah.
With him.
Yep. It sucks. He was running out front. He was ahead of you, right? He was in first place.
No, once I passed him in the off camber, he never passed me back, but he was like right behind
so
me.
okay, so he was up there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It was gonna be a fight between me and him.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. And then he had. See, the thing about the 2-stroke stuff is that they have ECUs, and the ECUs are actually responsible for your ignition.
I didn't know that.
So he ended up having trouble, and like I was in front of him. I'm sorry, I was behind because I was coming up through the field, and like he's like swerving back and forth, going really slow, like throwing his hands in the air, like what the hell are you doing? And come to find out, his battery died. So he wasn't getting spark anymore. Wasn't getting ignition. So he had to pull off. So, and he, like you said, he was running right behind Nick here. It could have been the three of us, Mac Minarelli 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Or just,
Rotax 1, 2, 3 as well.
And Rotax 1, 2, 3.
Overpowering the rocks.
Oh, dude.
So wait,
today,
what happened to the rocks this time around?
Ricardo
Well,
was nowhere.
I wouldn't say nowhere, but he wasn't strong, which was really surprising to me. I thought the Rock having the extra horsepower or whatever.
Yeah, wouldn't this be the setup that he would?
I would think, yeah, I thought
Yeah.
this would be optimal for it, but it wasn't there. And so, like, we came in after we finished, 1, 2, 3, and Ricardo finished third. And I go to Ricardo, I'm like, what's up with it? And he's just pointing at the engine, like, it's got nothing. And I'm like, what are you going to do about it? He's like, Rotax tomorrow. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
yeah,
got that luxury, huh?
Yes, he's
Yep.
just going to change the motor tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Oh.
That'd
Or
be
tonight.
interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe it's
Be
got
nice
more
seeing
grunt,
him.
but less top end power on the top end. that's
The
the opposite
Rocky
of what
saying,
you-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must
Yeah.
be. I'm really surprised, dude, because at the shorter tracks, he just walks. That thing has so much power, but yeah, like you said, it must not have the top end.
Now, what's the gearing like? Were you guys banging off the limiter for a good amount of time?
You don't bang off the limiter with these
No.
things.
I think I was
No,
only
it's-
getting like 13,500. Like just hit
Right.
the power
So
band.
you had more in it. What the hell does it top out at if you were to?
It tops out at
14K?
No, it's 15 because I've
15K.
raced at 14.1, 14.2.
Ah.
But the thing is because we have 15K to play with. That's a lot of revs to play with. Now when
compared
you
to a World Formula.
right, you guys in World Formula only have 7,100 to play with.
No shit.
And
I
that's
didn't even realize
why
that.
that's
Oh my
why
God.
you have to do that weird game where you bang it off the rev limiter just to keep it up above the clutch bite point
Gotcha,
in the
okay.
slow corners. But because we have so much rev to play with,
Over double.
Yeah.
right, it's over double.
That's
We don't
amazing.
have to worry about that game. So banging it off the rev limiter isn't a thing. But it's you don't want to be off the rev limiter on them things because it could blow. You know what I mean? In the World
Gotcha.
Formula, all day, brrr, just the whole time. It doesn't matter. So it's not the same. It's also weird with Rotax, and I think the other two strokes as well, because it's not necessarily like you want to even really get close to 15,000 because you actually start to lose power. And I've had it where, I don't know if it's because I've just had jetting wrong or if this is just because of the way the RPMs work, but I've had it where like you start getting over 14, maybe even close to 14, you'll be full throttle, and all of a sudden just goes, like there's no power anymore.
Well, maybe it's just the power
Yeah.
band isn't there. I mean,
Well, that's
maybe
what
it's not
I
perfectly linear.
I believe you get the most power out of the motor at 12.5, and that's what a lot of guys were telling me today to aim for at this
so
track.
gear it to optimally be right in that area.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know the race we just did. I think I didn't even look at my Micron or sorry, what's
Whatever that
Alfano,
fancy one.
Yeah,
Did you just
yeah,
buy a new one? Or no?
with the car, yeah, data
Oh, okay.
logger. But I want to say maybe I was approaching 13, so I was in the ballpark.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it works. I don't want to go down a tooth to try to get close to 12.5. I think because you can't just think about that. You also have to think about coming out of corners. And like this morning, I started off with a 71 rear sprocket.
Yeah.
It was garbage, dude. Like, yes, I was starting to get some top speed at the backstretch, but like nothing out of 2, nothing out of the last corner. It was
Yeah,
just stupid. So once I went up 2 teeth to 73 and I had a little bit more coming out of the corners, I like dropped to like 2 seconds almost instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the exact same thing because we were talking after qualifying on gear.
Right.
And I was like, Alex, what are you running? Because like I feel like I'm good, but I have no idea. I was running a 1475 after qualifying. I switched to the 1573 and what Alex was running, dropped 2 seconds.
Yep. For
That's
reference,
amazing.
dude.
Wow.
So thank you, Alex, for that. Because
Hey, no problem.
You probably
Yeah,
wanted me to
No
race
problem.
for that.
That's the great thing about this club. We're fair at sharing
racing,
gears.
yeah.
And,
There's never a fist fight or anything like that.
yeah.
It's close to it.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a fist fight here.
I've
be
seen a
honest
lot
with
of
you.
like fake fist fights.
I've seen shouting
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
But I've never seen fist fights. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Yeah, but it was a real good day for our class. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate there was Alessandro had his breakdown. The kid in the 331. Sorry, dude. Cameron. Okay.
Cameron.
I forget his name all the time. He was running in second, right?
Because I looked back a couple times after I made a couple mistakes. I said, oh, okay, so Cameron's still
Right. So
there.
he was running in second place and he threw a chain.
Oh,
like-
that's what happened.
Yeah, right in front of me. We're coming out of
Oh.
turn 2 and he just throws his hand up and I'm like, Oh, okay, I'll take that, I guess. But yeah, good day for me,
Yeah.
good day for you. I came from 16th, like you said, all the way to second. I'm not gonna complain about that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You got
A
your
20-minute
first win in
race?
tag.
Yeah.
18. Maybe if it was 20 minutes.
So why was it 18? What's
my
the
God.
deal? Supposed to be
There was
20.
a red flag before
Oh.
our session,
Yeah.
so
just to
time
get the
got
date
cut
done.
down a little bit.
Was it at all grueling or no? Like when you were out there, did you get any fatigue going or no?
Yeah, towards the end.
A little bit towards the end. I
Yeah.
think for me it was
But
just
there's a
kind
lot of. There's a lot of time where you're just going straight.
Yeah. I think me it was
There
just more
is,
mental.
but the corners are so long and sustained. That's when it gets tiring.
Oh, yeah,
You're
no.
just like holding, like, oh my, yeah,
The
wah,
one-
wah, and then it finally ends.
what's
you know?
tough-
the
tougher on
one
you.
right before the off camber, that's just a long
Yes.
corner.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Let's. I've never done this track.
Yep.
Let's walk through. So when you're going after turn 2 down the back straight,
Yep.
instead of hanging a right through the infield,
Yep.
where do you? What type of a? Obviously, you got to go clockwise and hit a right again. But
Yeah, but
I
not,
know
for,
there's a
not for
chicane
quite some
and then
time.
there's a. What's that?
Yeah. So, all right. Let me describe how you're gonna do it in World Formula.
Yeah, let's
All right?
hear it.
Take
From-
notes, everybody.
Well, no,
From
they're not going to
the
watch us anyway. So it's
unofficial
okay. Say
champion.
whatever
I
you
know
want.
it. Yeah, it's
Give
gonna
all
be
the
a,
secrets.
gonna be
I
notes
I
for
took
next
notes
year.
on a race start. That's how I got good at race starts.
Yeah.
From this.
Listen to the man.
Yeah. So, all right, you're gonna come. Your gearing's longer, so you're gonna be higher top speed coming into one, right? It's still flat out. Trust me, it's still
Oh, turn 1, you mean?
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn
I
one
believe
is,
it in a
is
world form,
still,
absolutely. I
Yep,
can
still
imagine
flat out.
that.
Not for us, no way.
No. I'm even hitting the brake a little bit just to get some rotation.
Yeah, me too.
And it's going to be dry tomorrow, so.
Yes, dry guaranteed.
Yeah.
So turn 1 is flat. Turn 2, it's still kind of the same way it is with the half track, where you kind of aim for the early apex and you track out
Just
like
track
you
all
should.
the way out.
So now you have turn 3, which is the gradual left-hander.
Okay, we know that.
Yep.
And that
Turn
in
4.
the dry though, by the way, not sketchy in a world formula, I imagine. Like last week in the wet, it was pretty sketchy, but
Yeah, no, it's not sketchy. Not in a world formula anyway. So you go through turn 3, it's fine. Hug the inside for turn 4. Like, the curb on the inside of turn 4? Hey, you probably stayed away from it for a little bit to go to do the half track because you have to set up for the right hand to come in. No, this time you want to stay nice and right to
whoa,
it.
whoa, hold on. Turn 4 on the full track. You're not taking a right there. Aren't you going straight all the way to the back?
It's like
No,
a,
no,
it's
no,
like
no,
a
no,
flat out chicane.
It's a
basically.
gradual. So
Oh.
turn 3 is a gradual left, turn 4
Yep.
is a gradual right to
Right.
lead on to the backstretch.
Okay, then what?
Then,
Turn 5.
track out all the way to the left, and you're going to go down the backstretch. It's going to camber as you go. All right, and then it's a dip to the right, full blast, no matter what you're driving. Come down to apex it nicey nice, and then what's kind of confusing is you come down to the end of the backstretch. It looks
Tighter than it is?
well, it kind of tightens down because it kind of looks like it's trying to do this S thing, but not really.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
it's a straight line, and you in the World Formula, you probably will just get away with coming around it. It ends up being a gradual right-hander. You might be able to just come around it with a little bit of lift, and that's it. Maybe full throttle. I kind of forget how to do it. It might be full.
I even forgot how to do it.
For some reason, I remember you saying full, but anyway.
Right. So then, but you're gonna want to come to the right because that's where the chicane is. It's a right left chicane, real tight, like only for go-karts. There's no way cars do it. And you can abuse the curbs a teeny bit, but
We're
Don't-
talking
don't
one
get-
wide there?
Don't launch them.
no, don't get. They're real tall. So you're gonna really mess up your day if you hit them like
Nah, I don't
dead
want
on.
to do that.
No, I was
What's-
even finding in the Rotax I was trying to avoid them altogether, and it seemed to be the better way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's debate. I don't know, because it's a straighter line when you do hit them, but it is like, it's all over the place. So you're going to come out of that, right? You want to be really fast out of that. There's plenty of guys that are slow through that chicane.
Why, though? Well, we don't
I don't know.
That's why.
It's-
It's almost like New Hampshire.
I think it's.
Or, well, we're in
They're
New
probably-
Hampshire now, but you know what I mean, Motor Speedway.
I think it's the thing where they don't want to hit the curbs, so they take it cautious.
Yeah,
to
they
not
take
hit
it
'em.
cautiously, and honestly, it is just variable driver skill through the field. So if you can figure it out, dude, you will be fast. You can make up a lot of your time and a lot of your
I like it.
Your
So
lap
is it like
time.
the chicane over in, New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Remember the chicane up there?
No,
left,
this
right?
is this is a
No,
different
way
animal.
faster?
This is faster and
This is
tighter.
Okay.
fat. Yeah, exactly. It's faster and it chokes down real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can make it out of there, dude, then it's a nice easy right-hander. Like you don't really have to think about it. The left-hander you do. It's a late apex, but you want to turn in earlier than you think because the
It
apex
falls away, right?
Well, it's kind of always off camber, but it's the most off camber when you start to apex, and it flattens out too. So if you don't get to that apex when you need to, or
You run out of track.
you
right?
basically track all the way out. They might be shutting the gates on you, Charlie. Although no, we had Mike here earlier saying you'd be all set.
Yeah. I don't know why they shut it anyway. What, bears?
I don't know. It's just
Maybe.
there's got to be rules. Anyway, so like I said, gradual right-hander. You don't have to think about left-hander. It's a late apex. Make sure you turn in kind of early for it because it does whack you away with just how it comes off camber. Be very cautious because, and it is flat out. All right, in the World Formula, it is flat out, but it does crest and it will chuck you out. And there's plenty of guys that go out in the weeds because they just hit it totally wrong, and they end their day over there.
And you're done at that point. You're not coming back on.
If you carry enough momentum, maybe, but yeah, it's literally weeds. It's literally weeds
Yeah,
out there.
you'd have to come back out on the other side of the track.
I know we obviously couldn't do it because the speed we were carrying, like we
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
have to track out. But if you hit it right in a World Formula, I remember last year in qualifying, we would hug the barrier on exit. Like we would be, if you hit it right,
Oh, wait, the barrier's on your left side.
yeah, you'd be able to hug it. Because
You
I
mean,
think that's
so
what
you-
you.
I
When
kind of
you're
found I was
apexing,
able to
you
do
mean?
that today.
Yeah, because I think that's what me, you, and Rick did last year in qualifying to cut down some distance. Like we could hit
Yes,
it right.
it's
and
if you can hit the apex exactly where it is, like right against the curve, it does almost seem like it's like grooved in to where it will hold you better, and you can kind of stick in. Because I noticed that today, I would miss it a few times and stay out, and then track all the way out to the right.
If you stay in enough,
if I
maybe
backed
it's cambered a little bit or something.
I think it's got to be flatter than it is on the outside of the corner, and that's why. So, say you come out of that, and then it's just this is another no thinker really. This left-hander, you do want to get nice and close to the plastic barriers, as close as you can get to make that corner nice and straight. And you'll know what I mean when you go
Yeah,
and
I'm all
drive it.
screwed up because I actually thought that's the corner you were just talking about.
No. There's a corner way down that way.
Okay.
oh, I screwed
Yeah.
up the track.
Yeah, now
then.
I'm all okay.
That's on me. I was talking about the last corner.
Oh, you were
Oh
talking
no.
about the last one. Okay. All right. Just let's forget it. I'll figure it out.
Don't lift
You'll-
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Turn left, turn right, left, right,
Yeah.
back, forward, up, down, AB.
Yes.
Fatality.
But yeah, so basically, I've given you a full lap rundown, but what you just need to think simply is that there's only two places you're going to slow down. Turn 2, chicane. That's it. The rest of it is flat out.
But you didn't lift in the off camber for the World Formula.
No. Nope.
What the hell was I doing wrong?
Something.
So the chicane,
What was I doing wrong?
So the chicane, you're saying you full throttle?
No. The chicane you lift.
Oh, right, lift.
Chicane and turn 2, the rest of it is flat out.
My nine's right where they are.
Yep. Trust me, that last corner is going to be sketchy. Two, you're going to understand. You're going to be like, yeah, there's no way this is flat out. But,
I know it's way off. Way off.
even the right-hander coming into the chicane, I think it was flat out in the World Formula.
Yeah.
It's not for us. It's like a totally different corner for us in the road tax.
I was
we were
shocked.
doing.
When I saw the
I don't know
speed
if you
that the
saw your
two
top
strokes-
speeds. I think I was doing 82 miles an hour today.
I looked after I got 81.
Yeah.
We were
And it go,
moving.
dude, like this far off. it is something. It is something. And in the road tax, dude, every corner is an event. Like even the last corner, you come across it, the car gets light, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ! When you're coming through, it is something. Wouldn't you say, Dave?
It's faster when you have a transponder.
Yeah.
He was just
Nice.
shedding weight. He's trying to cut another pound.
Every gram matters, people.
Maybe I should have kept that quiet instead of being all humble and admitting to
No.
it and shit.
We figured it out. We're not stupid.
You did it intentionally.
I found out before you told me. I just saw no transponder on the sheet.
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about was you guys. We did another Le Mans start, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
How did that?
That was a
went
little-
off with
It was a little wonky
No
for
drama?
me. I don't know what it is about today. It just seemed like the low end of my motor had nothing, which is fine here. You never do the low end except for the start. But oh Jesus,
Oh, it's a big mosquito.
had a bit of a cold touch there.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to a point where I can get the clutch to slip if I do it right. Like I'm both feet in until the launch, and then I let off the brake, and the clutch will slip. Like you can feel it and hear it slipping. It's like wee, and then I was like, all right, and I did this a month ago.
Yeah.
And I got the awesome start that I did, But I made the mistake this time of being like, wee, and then I came right off the throttle. And then it went, wheel, and then I got back on the throttle, and it was already grabbing again. And I was like, crap. So I gained a few positions, then it gripped back up, and I dropped back again for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know,
Yeah.
it was 18 minutes to make up for it, so I plainly did. I don't know, how did your start go?
My start, initially had a good launch, brake, foot on it, get the revs, dump the brake as soon as the green flag flew. I had a great launch. I even got a better launch than Alessandro, who ended up beating me at turn 1 because I got a little greedy. I was like, I can get Hugh to turn 1, so I hit the gas way too hard.
Oh.
And I kind of flooded the carburetor for that split second.
Yeah, yep.
Alessandro went by me and was in third after turn 2.
Yep.
But, sixth to third, I'll take it.
Sure. Yeah, I went fourth to first last time. You can get some awesome launches if you time it right.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I don't know, how did you do with the Le Mans start last time?
I did fine. It wasn't until I turned 1 I was doing really well. I gained a lot of positions. So I started in the back in the rain, and then turn 2 though, I didn't figure out how to drive in the rain yet, so I didn't turn hard enough, and I just kept going left. And then everybody went by me on the inside. Literally the whole field went by me. So every position I gained was all gone in an instant.
Gotcha.
But the start was good.
Technically, since the last podcast, we haven't talked about that last week. It hasn't been on an episode yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we haven't
Well,
talked
we've got
about
video
you
too.
winning.
We should have. Too bad we didn't have a chance. Maybe we could splice some video in. We have video from last. We can't do it now, but there's plenty of video out there of the racing on Sunday. From whenever it was.
I have the launch of the World Formula Race. And
No, but Elias has the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Elias
I
has
would
the
have
whole
recorded
race.
my race, but my GoPro was full on storage.
I
mean,
was a little weary to use the GoPro today because I was like, we're going to be drafting. Aerodynamics matter. Do I want this extra little block on the radiator? I was literally thinking about it. I don't know if it matters. I mean, it didn't seem too much. I bet you if I was running it, it wouldn't be a problem. But knowing that Ricardo is using the Rotax tomorrow,
Well, the rain suit I wore last time was ballooned up. All the air went through me, and I looked like Marshmallow Man going down the track. So that wouldn't be ideal. I know that. Yeah, that's right. We didn't talk about that race, did we? Shit.
No.
Damn it.
That was less than stellar for you. Where'd you end up?
Ended up in 7th.
Okay.
I had the greatest rain tires I've ever raced on, the LeConte Purples.
Oh, so you had the same shit I did.
Yeah. The greatest.
Did they look like swapping tires? Or
Yeah,
buttered,
I actually, Alex, if you didn't know this, so you know how rain tires should be softer than dry tires,
Right, yeah.
The LeConte Purples were the same compound as the LeConte Red dry tires. So I was running on a harder tire than I would normally do than my dry tire.
Right.
That makes sense.
So it was awesome. You throw it in there, it doesn't turn, and then you get on the power, especially on turn 2, and it just says, "No, we're gonna step out now for no reason."
Yeah.
Yeah, they were terrible.
They were awful.
The whites weren't much better. I mean,
No,
it still had very much
What
the
was it?
unders.
The MGs were the real fast one?
Oh, I had
No, the Bridgestones.
Oh, Bridgestone.
Well,
The
MGs
Bridgestones
were
the
still
Stellas.
Faster.
way better, and
Yeah.
I had a set of MGs that I ran in the practice session before my right rear tire blew up.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a right rear
I
puncture
didn't
in
know
the
about
practice
that.
session.
Oh, shit.
really?
Yeah, I came out of turn 1 and I just feel my hands start juggling the wheel around trying to keep the thing straight. And I looked behind me, I was like, oh, my tire's halfway off the rim.
That's not good.
That shouldn't happen.
Whoops. Well, there was a bunch of guys, wasn't there, that lost wheels that race, too? Because we were
Yeah, there's
swapping
so many
back and
guys.
forth so many times, remember?
Just forgot to tighten down their wheels. That's what Greg was saying last time he was sitting here with us. And I also won that race.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I swear we talked about this.
We did not. Probably over the phone, but not during a podcast.
Yeah. Damn it. Out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid won last time.
Yeah, I won and didn't even know it when I crossed the line, which was the funny part.
Well, there's no white flag.
No
and
white
you also
flag.
didn't know that you had lapped, or you didn't know that
Well-
he was a lap back.
Yeah, all right, so what happened was I took the lead initially and ran. I was like, this is awesome. And it was a 20-minute race. And then, in the back of my head, I'm just like, where's Ricardo? He's going to come.
That was the same thought I had all race. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's this guy?
So, sure enough, 10, 12 minutes in, he just goes right by me, and I'm like, whatever. And so then I get held up. The rest of the race, we were racing with the juniors. It was a mixed class race. So the juniors held me up a little bit, but then towards the end they were really holding me up. And then with like a lap or two to go, I didn't know this at the time, but it was a lap or two to go. I go like this, and I'm like, there's third place. He's right there. So we battle for a little bit. Coming out of the last corner, I got a lap car down in front of me. He's holding me up. And I'm like, crap, get out of the way. And so he gets out of the way. And then third place is like right next to me. We come across the line like that, dude.
Photo
Really
finish.
yeah.
Literally, a photo finish.
Right.
We have the photo to prove it.
I think I was said cart that
You
he was
should
probably
make a shirt
screaming
up.
at to get out of the way.
Yeah.
When we
You
get
were
the
good enough to
Formula
get out of the
Hooligan
way,
shirts
correct.
made up, you should get that made up for yourself.
What's that
Just
photo?
a photo of your photo finish.
Yeah,
On a
sure.
shirt.
Right?
Right? Right? $100. That's the price.
I gotta buy that photo, by the way.
Yeah.
I do have to buy and frame that photo. That's one of the coolest moments I've had in racing.
Yeah. I print out my photo when I beat Wes side by side across the line last time I won here.
There you go.
Me and Wes were like you and Cameron last time. Basically the same thing.
Yep.
I printed
Yep.
out that photo.
So yeah, we crossed the line like that, and I'm like, that was a fun way to finish second, And then I come in, and then 10 people surround me, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, what? They're like, you won. He was a lap down when he passed
How
you.
funny would it have been, though, if we all did that to you and you really were in second? We were just, cheering you on.
I would have hated all of you.
Way to go, Alex!
Yeah,
You almost won.
sure. No, but yeah, when it clicked in my head, because I guess he went for a super dive bomb, caused a crash. He got black flagged. They brought him in the pits.
Yeah,
so
I
what
saw
happened was,
all of them.
when I was in the lead, right, I came around while he was in the pits, and then he came back out behind me. And when he passed me, he was just taking his lap back. He wasn't actually passing me for the win. So when it all clicked in my head, it was like, I was super friggin' ecstatic. Super friggin' ecstatic for that win. Oh, hell, especially in the wet and winning it by that much.
Yeah,
Oh,
sick.
Yeah.
Made it all worth it.
yeah, very
So
fantastic.
now, where do you stand? I saw they posted points. Do you guys know where you stand?
I will be currently 4th. I was 5 points behind Hugh going into this race, and I got a good bit of points on him.
Gotcha.
And I think I did the math in the car on the way to dinner. I think you're now 20 points behind Ricardo.
Oh, closing the gap.
Because you got 5 points on him today, and you were 25 before this
Only
race.
5?
90 and 85.
Oh, right. I was.
Now, do they drop one, or
They do drop one if you do
They
every
drop
race.
one.
have you
Yeah.
made them all so far? or-
I have, but I won't be for here for the last 3.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So I-
better
I-
make it worth it tomorrow.
Yeah, I just want to be outright 4th before I leave. That's
There you
the
go.
goal.
Yeah, that's
Alex,
it.
have you made them all this year?
Yes. Yep. Which is crazy. I never
This,
usually do
yeah,
a full
this will
season.
be. Well, it's because there's less races now theoretically with X1 gone, right?
Correct. Yeah, I used to
How
favor.
many races were at X1? About the same
It was
amount.
about the same. So you could have like 20 races you could try to go to a year, which
But
is
most people
insanity.
didn't do all of them from each, right? It
No,
was
no, you'd have to have like megabucks to make every single.
not only that, but you'd give up every single weekend and just
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of your life to give away. Like we all love to go racing, but like
Good
some
luck.
balance.
Yeah, I do other things too.
Yeah, you golf. And do you still play hockey?
I quit after fall
After
season. I didn't
Gotcha.
end up playing high school.
So wait, did
Gotcha,
you play
gotcha.
sports in college?
I'll probably play club golf.
Nice.
It's probably same level as like D2, D3.
But you're
which is what I
also
would've
going to be
played.
doing Formula SAE, right?
I will indeed, and that was a big reason why I went to the school because it was between Michigan State and UMass, and
Yep.
UMass Amherst couldn't guarantee me the program, but Michigan State I already know they had him. They're
I wouldn't
very
even know
good
UMass
up
Amherst
nationally.
even did it. Do they do it?
UMass
I didn't know that.
UMass Amherst has it, but it's not like Michigan State.
Okay.
Now Michigan State, isn't that where Christian went? Or
Right,
is
so
going?
he did the exact same thing, and you should talk to him at some point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I knew all this stuff back when I was going to school. You know?
Yeah.
My parents were just like, go to business school. Yeah, work the ladder. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you do, what are you going to school for?
Mechanical engineering.
All right, yeah. So
Nice.
you kind of have to do like, dude, I'm not an engineer. I can't do it. It's not for me.
I'm just good at math.
Bless you for wanting to do it and being
They
good
have
at
calculators in Microsoft Excel now, right? So
Yeah.
it. It's not.
I mean-
Yeah, but they
My
can't do,
calculator got me through high school.
they can't do calculus for you. So.
I remember using
Actually-
my TI-83 calculator. I used to program all the formulas and all that bullshit into
really?
the calculator
Well, my calculator
before
can.
teachers caught on.
I have the TI-84. My calculator can do basic derivatives and integrals.
Oh, Christ.
I don't even remember.
Maybe
what
my
that was.
calculators did that back in high school too.
Probably. I used to write
forgot
boobs
about
all
it.
the time. That's about the extent of what I used to do.
Would you do boobs and boob lists
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit like that? Yeah. I would do the same thing.
Not blaming you.
Bunch of degenerates.
It's just one of those things. Like I always do.
So what is to expect for tomorrow? It's the same weather, same everything. So
It's
no
the same
big
weather, but
changes.
it's guaranteed to be nice. Like
Tomorrow's supposed to
today
be
it
beautiful.
actually sprinkled a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
World
did.
Formula was out for their practice, like qualifying, and it started just sprinkling down a little bit, but it was so hot that it never really accumulated. You know, it never got wet on the track.
Playing or
So,
what?
hey, that's all right.
Okay, Dave.
Hey, you. Gonna wrap it up?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, boys.
All right.
Good
Hey,
luck out there. We'll
thanks
see
for
you
being
tomorrow.
on the
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see you tomorrow for the next
tomorrow.
one.
Remember your
And now that opens up the floor. Does anybody want to take? Ken, you want to sit down?
Yeah, we should have introduced you when you were hanging out in the.
Hey, see you, Rob. See you, Nick. Alessandro, have a good night.
Thanks again.
Ken, how you doing?
Fantastic. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. Not bad.
How was your day, Alex?
Pretty damn good.
It looked good out there.
Considering that I totally did not put my transponder on in qualifying.
I heard a rumor about that.
Yeah.
You should probably. So how did that happen?
Just total slip of the mind. I charged it at home. I put it in my bag, and then I did not take it out of my bag until somebody told me
At
it
least you
wasn't on
brought
the
it.
cart. Yeah, at least I
Well,
brought
you
it.
had it.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's
you
a
could
big part
probably
of it.
borrowed, stolen.
Yeah, but it doesn't have my name attached to that transponder.
True.
You know.
Or you could do what I do. I just swap with Brett.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Swap it with the fastest guy out there. Alex, actually, you tied it to the front of your bumper, so I don't know. That's
No,
a
I
DQ.
didn't. No, that's not
No.
allowed. Don't be
DQ.
spreading. No, don't be spreading that shit.
No, actually, what it is he has a dummy transponder behind, which confused him.
Brilliant.
You know what? You got that little slice in the bottom of the bumper, and you stick it up in the front bumper. Works perfect.
You got some shiesty ideas.
Yeah, I've got.
I guess this is why everybody in karting tries to move their seat as far forward as possible, right? You know? Get that transponder right up.
I've never thought of it that way, but you're kind of right.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? We don't talk about this. In rental carts, everybody was always trying to get the seat all the way forward, as much weight as you can on the front tires.
Well,
but-
yeah.
Well, rental cars they handle it better that way.
right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, even here, you still use it. Well, I use a lot of body language because I have a lot of body English.
Yep.
But yeah, the rental cars, you always went forward.
I'm curious to see, so my seating position on my rental cart is way laid back, which feels odd, but I like it. But
Yeah.
I'd be curious if it had a leverage to pull it forward and see if you get any more traction.
You would, yes, technically. You put more weight on the front.
Right.
Yep.
You'd be less comfortable.
Or just lean forward.
Yeah.
No, I got the lean, though. My seat's designed I like it. I mean, I'm way back. But in the wet, it was a little harder to maneuver it as much. You know what I mean? Because you don't have the
Right.
leverage.
Right.
So I found it more difficult and straining and more tiring, Because
Well-
you don't have that leverage. You're not right up on it.
True. Like today, especially the 20-minute race, you want to be as comfortable as possible the whole race.
Yeah.
So whatever seat position works for you, go with it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Karting, though, when you get into these form-fitting seats, it's amazing. I mean,
It
I
is.
think it's super comfortable.
Yep.
I feel like
Yeah.
I could sit in it for hours, except for New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That track.
Yeah.
I don't know about
How-
that, but-
how bumpy
Well,
it
you
is.
never raced a lot course.
I never raced a lot course either.
You never did. Yeah, you never did.
I never made it.
The lot
Nope.
course. It's where they park all the campers during all the races.
Oh, God.
You know,
And
you know where
it
they
was
do
re-
the drifting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we
That
used to
course.
use that, or they used to use
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah, to go
Seems
racing.
kind of small.
It worked though.
Oh, but it was back then we were a small club. We had maybe
Right.
40 people.
So it was
Right,
all
yeah.
cones, or would you have barriers, plastic barriers?
Plastic barriers and
well,
cones.
it started out with cones, tires, and then barriers, then more barriers. That's how I got the reputation with all the cones because
Yes.
I was always running the damn
Yes,
things
yes,
over.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Now, funny in a cart, probably can things up, though. You know what I mean? If you hit a cone, I imagine it's not going to be pretty.
We had a
Can't bend
case
stuff.
once, and we had a turn one wreck, and I bent my spindle so bad that the right spindle was actually dragging on the ground as I was driving.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Mike said,
And that was from a cone? No.
No, that was just the Spin Queen went into turn 1, took out the field.
Spin Queen.
By the way, that is the Spin Queen is how many championships now?
Well, who are you talking about?
Rick.
Oh.
Rixie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, back his first season.
So wait, Rick Brown's nickname was Spin Queen?
Oh yeah, that was his
Oh man,
nickname.
this is new to me.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Now we just call him Champ.
Yeah. Which he is. You know.
So anyhow, in the ensuing chaos, I bent my spindle so it was dragging on the ground. Fast forward multiple laps later, and I'm waving everybody by. It's like, I'm going to finish this. Brett comes up leading the race, avoids me, hits a cone, rides a cone. So he goes from first to third, riding a cone for the last lap on his left wheel. It's sitting up in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember, so I wrenched for Rich for like 2 years before I bought my own kart and started racing with you guys. And I remember watching the races at the parking lot course. It was awesome.
Oh, it's fun. And visually, what was nice about it was
It must have been all flat.
it was rough.
When I say flat, I mean no elevation changes.
No, it was flat, but it was it was a parking lot. So you, as it aged with people parking on it, you had the roughness. But what's really neat about it was you felt so fast there because of the parking lines. So they're going.
Yeah.
A little bit of sense of speed, yeah.
And I'm sure your gear ratios are way high, too. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's no top speed. It's all about just
We're not
getting
running
out.
here.
Right.
Huh,
Right, yeah,
wow.
this is the opposite end of it.
What was the change? Why did they make the change? Did they?
Well, they
I
repaved
mean, that
it.
road course has been there forever, right?
Yeah,
In the infield there.
yeah.
Well, Mike and Lee would have to let you in on all that information, but we outgrew it. It was
Yeah.
fun, but
You know what?
there's no way
That's true.
with
To get 180 people to grid for that, yeah,
Forget
that'd be impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
look.
true.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Don't rub your eye when you have off on your fingers, because now I feel like my right eye is on fire. So don't do that.
But the good news is all the mosquitoes are going to your left eye.
Yeah.
That's right.
Man, I'm always doing something.
It hurts here. It bites
that's
here.
Don't do that. Fuck.
Oh, silly Charles.
So.
I don't know how you managed to do all the photos and then race as well. You know what I mean? Like
it's
you
quite the
went,
feat.
I went through your photos. How many did you take? There was at least 140
Well,
that you
today.
posted.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Today I took 1,500 photos and I had 3 GoPros, and there's going to be some interesting video come out of those.
Okay.
Really? Where are the GoPros?
Brett runs a GoPro Max
Oh, yes.
on
Yep.
his cart.
Yep.
And then I run 2 GoPros on mine, forward and aft, which I'm going to upgrade eventually to him.
Yep.
So I spent my GoPro budget on rain tires this year.
Oh, I see. the budget nobody thought we would all have. Yeah.
But, yeah, so,
It's nice to have though. It's cool looking at the photos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
It's a good reminder of things.
it is. You know what? And that's the thing that we didn't have when Brett and I first started out was nobody was taking photos, so you didn't
Yeah.
have it. So,
And you probably didn't have people with GoPros
Well-
all over.
well, him and I did back as soon as they came out, but then the only photos were Take Junior, then World Formula.
Right. And you and Brett started pretty early, right?
We started in 2010 with this series.
Wow.
What we did was, when Brett was little, I started watching NASCAR because I wanted
Yep.
to do something with him.
Sure.
He fell in love with it. I said, well, life's not a spectator sport. So
Yeah.
I put him in the F1 indoor program for
Yep.
new drivers. And he just dominated that. And then we did indoor karting for a couple of years. Then in 2010, we came over here, which was, back then, this was called the Grand State Karting Championship. It was going to be between
Okay.
Sugar Hill.
I remember
and New
that
Hampshire Motor
that
Speedway.
title. Yep.
Yep. And we did that then. And then the following year, went to NHKA, and we've just been with them ever since.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's
Well,
been
he
fun.
took a break for school, right?
He took a break for 3 years for school.
Right. Right.
And so he's back, and my race budget's gone up.
Yeah, for the two of you, yeah. Yep.
So, cool.
We need like a third track. Now we need what's the The one is it? What's the name of the track further north of here, northeast? Is it Thunderhill? No. What's the one that you've been to up there where you just tested out your cart?
Oh, Club Motorsport.
Yeah, Club
yeah.
Motorsport.
Yeah, Club Motorsport has a little itty bitty go kart track.
If
Talk
they
about
don't-
infrastructure. That does not have the infrastructure.
No, that
So-
could not handle it. That'd be like trying to race on the lot course.
Right. Yeah.
So.
It doesn't really have a grid down at the track anyway. There's probably room. Like when I go, if there's a dozen people, it's a lot. Like that's a lot of trailers
Yeah.
to have down there.
Yeah.
There's a parking lot
You know-
above, but I mean it's a good like 100-foot walk, maybe more down to the.
Oh, more
to-
than that,
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
where they could do a good parking lot track is over at Gillette Stadium. That would be a good spot.
Well,
for
that'd
them.
be-
I mean, you'd have to set it up every time, but it's plenty big. I mean, They used to do that supercar, arrive and drive stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
They used to do that there, and then they actually do it now at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
In the same
just
lot
to get a
that-
third place closer down to the southern people.
Well,
Yeah.
if anybody knows of a lot that would be large enough to handle us,
Yeah.
that would be fabulous. Because every time you go racing, you could set up a different course.
Yeah.
Well, look at how
Oh,
successful.
that's true. Right, like autocross. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
What they do. Which
Right,
I hate
right.
autocross.
Or-
Everyone knows that. I just want to make that clear.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, my
Say this
God.
yourself.
Well, look
I
at
drive a Focus and I hate it. I'd hate it even if I had a Miata.
I'd hate if I was following you if you were driving a Focus. Well, look how successful Las Vegas has been with that lot course.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
an actual professional SCUSA event
Yeah.
for karting,
No way, really?
and it's a parking lot. Yeah.
I've never karted out in
Awesome.
Vegas. Or
Me
even
neither.
driven a car out there. And they have
It
all
sounds
sorts
it
of,
sounds painful from what I hear. It's
Really?
so bumpy that it like just destroys people's ribs. At least Alexander Rossi of IndyCar, he hates it. He's like he did that event one time. He was running I think he was running shifter and senior for tag. And he said like his whole right side was just black and blue and he had to come out of a race early just quit. He's just like
Jesus.
he's
Well,
like I got
shifter-
an IndyCar race to go do at some point, so it sounds like it'd be really fun if you're one of the top guys and you think you'd actually compete for something. I bet you one of us Joe Schmoes went over there. I don't know how well we would do, but it would probably be a very, very much a strain on the budget, first of all, and then a strain on your skills, which can be fun, the skills part, but not the budget part.
It'd be humbling, but you'd be able to meet some interesting people.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Some
Alex,
professional
what's the
drivers.
most interesting place you've raced?
Ooh, most interesting place I've raced. This one's pretty interesting. I'll tell you why. It's, especially in World Formula. It is a World Formula race around here does not race like a go-kart race. Like the half track will. The half track is all about, hitting your marks and getting out of your corners, all that kind of stuff. When you come here in a four-stroke and you just have all the track in the world and all the power in the world that you want, and it becomes this drafting game where it's more of a chess match.
Yeah.
That's really, it's different. It's not really a kart race so much as it's just a mental game. You know what I mean? So that's what makes this track in particular very interesting. Now, this is my first time racing the full track in a two-stroke today.
How was that?
Wild. It is. It's a long kart race, but it still feels like a kart race because
Yeah.
I have twice the power that I'm used to, and like I was telling him, every corner is an event, every single one.
So how'd that feel going through the chicane in the two-stroke versus
So-
the four-stroke?
The chicane is actually not that different because that's the slowest point basically, and I don't know. It's between there and turn
you're
2,
at your max speed when you hit the breaking point.
82 miles an hour.
Wow.
Now, World
I got
Formulas are-
69.6.
Any of it towards over 60 or even
Yeah.
towards 70 is fast in a go-kart, no matter what it is. But the thing is like you go through it about the same speed you would in a four-stroke because it's all the same chassis basically.
Right,
so
right.
through the middle of it and coming out, it's not that radical. Coming out is obviously faster. But because, like, even when I was coming out, you're still kind of below the power band. It didn't
Right.
feel like, it's kind of like a slow build-up. Where it feels different is the rest of it, where it's all high speed. Like,
The off-camber?
off-camber is wild. The off-camber in a World Formula, you can do flat out. Yes, you can.
You can, but I'll tell you about my story today.
Okay.
Let's hear
Okay. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But like in the tag, you come to that thing. It's a good braking zone. Turn in. You're on the throttle. The throttle is trying to kick out the rear the whole time, especially when you crest onto the apex where it starts to level out. And you come way over to the right. You hear the motor go like it's like, and then you crest it. It's like, like it jumps that much.
Oh, it have to. Yeah.
Yep. You'll track all the way out to the right. I've seen plenty of guys blow it and go out in the weeds. It's a common mistake no matter what engine you're driving. But even this last corner, which is flat out no matter what class you're running, with all the power that you have in a two-stroke, is still loosey-goosey. It wants to come out counter steering as you go through, which is just it's something else.
That's so much fun though when you're really loosey-goosey and you gotta put that counter steering.
Yes.
But not too much.
Right. No, when it's actually just that little bit of slip amount and it's fast. Oh yeah, it's satisfying. Yep. And like even another difference is the corner, like the right-hander before the chicane is now a whole new corner. Now it's a good braking zone. It's a good turn in. You can still get back on the throttle to go towards the chicane, but not too much because then you'll end up just overshooting it. And, I mean, in the World Formula, you can debatably just take that entire right-hander flat out before you come to the chicane. Mm-hmm. Not so in a two-stroke. Like I said, it's a corner all of a sudden because you're coming at it at 82 miles an hour.
Well, exactly. You have that extra 10-mile, 15-mile-an-hour speed.
Right.
You got a lot more power.
Yep. And even though we have a softer compound tire than you guys, I mean, it feels like you have more grip, but it's not that much more grip to where, I'm doing like the same throttle and brake amounts in the corners. I have to slow way down because I am going that much faster. And let me tell you, 80 miles an hour in a go-kart is wild.
Yeah, so wait, what?
Wild.
I just got to ask because, I started noticing it for some reason in the rain last time, which I've done this track in the dry too, and it wasn't like speeds were any different. But my helmet, maybe I was like looking up too much or something, but like helmet was starting to lift.
Yeah, it'll start to lift, yeah.
You got the, you know what I mean?
You get all that air impacts right here and pushes up.
On this track, do you notice any of that more or less? You're going a whole lot faster, whether it's a World Formula or the two-stroke. Do you notice anything or no?
Oh, I notice it.
You got a lot of air whipping right over you.
Yeah,
Are you in
and
the
like
top position
what I was going to say is when you're doing 80 in a go-kart, I don't know if it's the ventilation in my helmet or whatever, but it's coming through real strong and also lifting up real strong.
Say,
oh, yeah.
You tilt, I kind of would lean down anyway, I find myself, just to keep...
Yep. No, I
You
constantly...
tuck your chin a little bit, that helps.
Yeah, but I was still constantly... it's just a design flaw in my helmet anyway, but I was constantly having to go like, and pull it down on the straightaways.
Where it really sucks is when somebody runs off in front of you and pulls all the dirt on the track. You have all your vents open and you're going through at speed, and all that freaking sand gets into your teeth, your nose, and your eyes.
Yep.
So I put the mask or the baklava or whatever it's called, and I keep mine. I'm pretty sure I keep it like above my nose until it falls down sometime on its own, and that helps filter. In the heat, it's tough to breathe, but it's nice because it adds a filter, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of a buffer. But I was having a problem last time with rain getting inside. Like I was getting rained on the inside because I'm trying to wipe the mask, and I'm like, oh, those drops are in the inside. So I had the brilliant idea of opening my mask and trying to wipe it. I'm like, don't do that. Bad idea.
No.
Well, it's a fine line between being
cracked. You
cracked.
don't like your eyes.
Yeah. It's a fine line between being cracked enough to clear out your visor and just getting all that rain and crap in your face.
Right. Now, the ventilation in my helmet must be good enough because even in the rain,
you got a newer helmet finally, right?
No, it's still.
You didn't get a new one? I swear.
I was going to, but then there was.
It didn't fit.
The Arai helmets, which George sells, they do not fit my head.
Dude.
No matter what size.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I have a Bell helmet. Pretty sure.
So Bell is what I wanted to try because I tried Arai.
Feels so nice, I think.
I tried Arai. I tried.
Never tried one.
JC something. I forget exactly what it's called. I went to. You ever been to HMS Motorsport?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that place is fantastic. So they had the Arais, and I tried the larger ones there, and I was like, yeah, none of these are working out. But then they had something. I think it was like a Shroot helmet or Schroth. I forget exactly what it's called, but it fit my head amazing. And it had like ear pads in it already ready for audio in case you ever wanted to use it for any.
When you get it,
it was $1,800.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money. And like it was lightweight carbon fiber, like the whole thing. It was
well,
amazing.
if it's carbon fiber, then it's worth it.
Yeah, someone here
$1,800.
You know what? I don't remember who it was. One of the racers showed me he had a carbon fiber helmet, and it was cheap. It was not a price.
Yeah, they're not all necessarily wicked high prices.
No. I mean, the 2 carbon fiber helmets that Brett and I had prior to they expired last year we spent like $400 on them. And
Right.
they were
Carbon fiber?
Right.
And we got the double super secret deal
But
on
still,
them.
that can't be Snell approved, is it? For that?
No,
price?
it had all the approvals.
Wow.
And it was the most comfortable helmet I've ever had.
Yep.
It weighed about a pound less than my Arai. And I'd love to get them again, but they're not manufactured anymore. Probably because they went out of business and they didn't charge enough.
Probably,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the sketchy moment you were talking about on the last turn? I believe you started
Oh,
to
yes.
say.
You were going to tell us
Oh, the
something
video's
here.
better than the conversation. I just blew the corner, and I basically
through
buried
the
myself backwards. I have this great video of
Oh, nice.
going through the forest at speed backwards.
Yeah, so you'll see tomorrow, but if you miss that penultimate corner, I guess you would call it, the second to last corner, you go down into weeds. You're not coming out the other side because it just goes down into a gully. You'd have to be going
And you're gonna
real
have
fast.
to. Now, they're gonna have to get one of these rigs out and tow you out.
Oh no,
You
I
had to pick
wasn't
it up
letting
over
anybody
your head
touch
and
my
carry-
cart. I was going to push it out myself. If I had to drag that for an hour, I was going to get it
Yeah.
out myself. But you don't want to go too far because what people don't realize is about 20, 30 feet into the weeds, there's a bunch of rocks there because it's like a drainage field.
Yep.
You do not want to end up there. So
Man.
just stop, clear your cart, and get out of there.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me think about, since we didn't talk about this last podcast, is the shifter carts during the rain. Remember that concrete wall?
Yeah.
They were coming real close to hitting that when they spun out over
Yeah,
turn
there were
3.
lots of guys spinning out in the
Because
backstretch.
we were just
Not
talking
the
about-
backstretch, but
Before you joined us, we were talking about how on a two-stroke or a shifter, it can be sketchy on that turn 3. Well,
Right.
in the rain, they were literally sliding in inches from that concrete barrier.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you hit that, it's going to be a bad day.
Well,
Very.
these barriers right here, as soft as they are, they'll bend your chassis if you get
Yes,
into
they
them.
will.
Yeah, but knock on wood, the two accidents I've seen into it, I can't believe it. The drivers have popped up fine. And I'm like, with the barrier, that steel barrier has a dent in it still. From
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, I think he's here right now.
Rich,
One of
Rich,
those guys.
well,
Who was it that hit it? The guy that was over here earlier talking to us. I think he's got a shifter cart. He hit that.
Rich Blanchard crashed at the last race. I don't know if he put a dent in the wall, but I know the dent you're talking about.
2 races ago or whatever. This was in the
Marciano,
beginning.
Marcelo.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Marcelo.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
one of them.
There's a decent sized dent in the steel. I'm talking. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that cart
Yeah.
is no more probably, but
No. Well, you know the coming down the hill where the washout was after the flood, where they put
Yes.
new pavement in. How that's
Yes,
rough.
yes, yep.
I was looking at a video off of Brett's GoPro earlier. Thankfully, it was on 360. The driver hit that for no apparent reason. He takes a hard right and an immediate hard left, cuts across Brett's nose, misses another cart, takes out one of the previous winners that we had here. And I'm watching the video, and he's driving off, he's taken out and headed up to the woods.
Oh, God.
Because that's what, 100 feet? It's like, but it's not where you would picture an accident happening.
Right. Right,
So,
yeah.
the
I
way
mean,
it
everything
goes.
was safe and everything else, but it's like, wow. It's like you can never let your guard down out there.
no.
No. Nope.
Yeah, when shit goes wrong, it just goes wrong.
Yeah. And when it does, you know what? We're truly blessed here with
The medical staff that's on
the
hand.
medical staff. And I can't say enough about the officials and the corner workers out
Yes. Oh, yeah. They absolutely deserve kudos for what they do out there.
there.
Yep.
If anybody wants to complain or anything else, put a headset on for a race.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, we did have one red flag today. Everybody was safe, thankfully,
Yep.
and everything else. But the instant reaction of getting a race stopped, get cars doing 60, 70, 80 mile an hour, stop within a matter of 20 seconds.
Yep. Probably
and
less.
to get the ambulance out there, just to evaluate them. And again, it was all okay. But that's what a professional team will do for you. Of all the people that I've worked with at tracks, this is the best crew I've seen. short of like an IndyCar or NASCAR.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although some of those professionals, it seems a little lousy.
Oh,
You
you
know,
see
so-
some of
Yeah.
the sketchy stuff like.
Well, some of the crews, what is it? Is it IndyCar they travel with them, but then like Formula One they don't? There's like certain.
I'm pretty sure F1 is volunteers for
Yeah,
whoever wants to
volunteers.
come
You
that
tell
weekend.
when there's cars coming and you got a guy running out in front of three
Right.
cars coming to get
Yeah,
a piece of carbon
exactly.
fiber. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Never
Not to
mind,
mention,
you weren't.
they'll be
Or-
trying to pick up a car and they drop
Or
it
they don't know
multiple
how to use
times.
a fire extinguisher, like with Grosjean. You know, they.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to die. I'm not getting near that. That's a fire. And he's got a fire extinguisher in his hand. He's like, am I supposed to?
Well, you just throw the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
It'll eventually
explode.
blow and
Here you go.
put all the suppressant out.
Maybe that's why he's in IndyCar now. Safer.
Doing
Wasn't that one
well.
of the reasons it's safe?
Yes,
safe?
and he is doing well.
He's
Yeah.
doing really well. It's good to see.
Yep. As a matter of fact,
How did you do last race?
hey Rick, was the IndyCar race today? I think so. Do you know what happened? Do you know the result? Oh, that's true. Gotcha.
What do you got? A Nextel?
T-Mobile.
He's got
Wow.
a pager.
Actually, he's got one of those Walmart specials that he has to type
It's a
in
burner
49 numbers to get
Yeah.
it to work.
Oh man, yeah. Those were the days.
Regardless, I think there wasn't an IndyCar
Well, we already
race
covered
today.
the spin queen.
Yeah, Spin Queen. I didn't know about that. We're gonna get Formula Hooligan shirts.
I didn't know
made
about
up
that either.
With Spin Queen on the back. I like it.
But I did correct it and say that you are now the champ.
Yes,
Yeah.
officially.
But you always be the spin queen to me, honey.
Where did Brett end up in the
What's
lights
it?
race?
In the lights, he got third.
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 Okay, cool. Yep.
So he had pole in both classes. And when the red flag, he crossed the line at fourth, thinking that there were still a couple laps to go. The pass, as you know, with the draft, you want to be able to pass up to the front.
Correct. Yep.
And he did it. He passed up to the front, but the red flag came out before he crossed the timing line again.
How much of a difference does a draft make when you're in and out of it? Have you
Quite
guys
a
been
bit.
able to determine, like, say,
Quite
miles
a
per hour, or
bit.
even?
A lot.
I bet you, like the Rotax, I noticed it 5 miles an hour. You saying?
Formula, give or take
5 miles an hour?
4 to 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yep.
It's worth at least half to 3/4 of a second.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I would say about the same for Rotax, maybe a little bit more in the Rotax because you're punching even a bigger hole when you're going much faster as we are. And like, yeah, you get behind somebody. I especially notice you feel it.
Oh, you do.
You feel it quite a bit. You get behind somebody, and it's
Get
all of a
sucked
sudden
right
just
up
less
behind 'em?
resistance. No, just you don't feel the air hitting you anymore. You're
And you
like,
feel
"Oh,
when
this
somebody's
is-"
right behind you, you feel that too.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
I mean, for example, in the World Formula race with Tom Prioli, when I was drafting on him, I was only 50% throttle, and we're on the rev limiter.
Yep.
And I'm tapping the brake to keep from running them over,
Right.
trying to catch up with other carts.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the best example of that is stuff that I've heard from when guys will race at like Daytona, or I've even heard guys that race at Charlotte, and they'll have. I mean, they're doing 100 miles an hour.
That's a bucket list item, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking
yes,
about
it
like
is.
when Keith showed us those videos of him
Yeah.
in a cart?
So
remember?
Yeah.
from what
Daytona,
those
that
guys.
stuff's insane.
Oh, it is.
I don't think I have the balls big enough to do that.
I'm
to be
thinking of
honest.
the speeds there. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
nope.
fun and all that.
Until you hit a wall.
You know,
Yeah.
honest to God, it's karting. I have more fun on a short technical course.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because even here, let's say there's an instant where something happens, you have to check up, or you screw up, and you end up losing the draft. If you're out by yourself, you're done. It's just running laps until you get lapped.
I would.
Ooh, so is it like single file though, typically in the draft, or is there like
No.
you have two
all right.
lanes?
All right. Listen. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Optimally, yes, it is single file. because-
Realistically, no, because people don't stay in line.
Right. Right. People get the littlest bit held up by the guy in front of them. They're like, "Oh, I'm better than this guy." They pull out a line and come around him, and then all of a sudden they're
They go,
racing. Whoever's ahead of them will just drive right away, and that's exactly what Rick Brown did today when he won World Formula Light. You know,
Yeah.
he got out front. He is fast, so he was able to run.
He ran by himself out front, so that
Correct,
was
correct.
an anomaly.
Yep, but I've done it too, and I do think it is possible.
You used to dominate. We were so happy to see you move up. I mean, we love you and everything else, but it was just getting boring watching you pull away every race.
I mean, yeah.
You figured it out, I guess, huh?
I
So
figured
next year it's
something
going to be
out.
shifters.
No. I got to prove myself a little bit more in these friggin' two-strokes.
Oh, so you haven't dominated yet enough races.
No, I haven't. I only led start to finish in one race so far. I got to do that a few times at least.
Well, excuse me. Last time I did that, I was a class of 1.
Man. That's harder, though, I think, starting a race first, finishing first. In my opinion, I'd rather be behind somebody, try and overtake.
It depends on what kind of speed you have for the day. If you can start first and be clearly first
But
and
it's
have
the
no problem.
nerves. Just for my driving style, I would be more.
So you like to have the mouse to chase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean everybody does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you faster.
Yes, it
And
does.
then you can play
yes.
mind games with them too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where if you're out front, all you have to do, you have everything to lose and nothing else to gain.
Right.
Right?
And what's worse, at least personally, is when I'm out front, I start thinking about the people behind me.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you start
You
missing
stop-
some of your marks.
Exactly.
No,
Right. Where you're not
I call it
thinking-
the Freddy Faucet move because he does that a lot. Where I'm
Does
like, doing this shit, turning back.
Oh yeah, the crane.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good, but I can't help myself.
I've never seen
It's
somebody
bad.
run so fast with their head totally turned around. It's like,
Yep.
Well, it's better than the opposite. There's some people out there that don't look at all and they just like turn, and
oh, we've had a few of those today too.
we don't name those people on the Formula Hooligan podcast though.
No.
I mean, they kind
I
of live
wouldn't
up
know
to
their
the
name
name
anyway, probably. It's probably me for all I know. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
so
get-
you'll find it. He's never run the big track.
Oh, you
Oh.
gotta do that.
Well, he's doing it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow's his initiation.
Sweet.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
the big track's not difficult to run.
No, it's not.
Actually-
But it's the mental. It's the chess game. That
It's a
makes it
chess
difficult.
game. And where people try to do is they try to play chess game too early,
Correct.
especially with
Or
the
the
Le Mans
entire
start.
time.
Because
Yes.
Le Mans start, well, you might qualify third, and by the time you get to turn 1, be dead last.
Yep.
So pick somebody, hook up with them, and just race.
Preferably at the front pack, though. You know what I mean? I imagine it's still only 18 to 20-minute race or whatever it is.
You could be mid-pack. I mean, we've had people dead last draft up to the front.
I mean, I almost did it today in the tag. Although
We're not all.
I gotta say there wasn't much of a drafting game in tag. You guys definitely have it more going on.
because you're
It's more
just so much
prevalent in
faster?
four-stroke.
Well,
Way more prevalent.
You're right, exactly.
Because
As you know.
like I said, like I was telling you, every corner is an event in a two-stroke, which means
Right.
it comes down to skill more than it comes down to just stay in line and
Right.
run full throttle with everybody else. So yeah, you guys in the four-stroke, it's much more of just a drafting game. I kind of forgot where I was going with this.
Well, yeah, it is.
I started watching cornhole.
You know, we kind of all just zoned out at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, okay.
I was like, wow, that moon looks really nice. And then I'm like, ooh, look, bags.
Am
Well,
I
you
that
know-
boring to listen to, guys?
Well, a year ago, I was out there shooting astrophotography, catching all the meteorites.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
There was
cool.
a,
That's coming up this week.
I saw some this morning because I left the house at 3 o'clock to be here. And I
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I see a lot of strange things.
Yeah, sure. But I saw like a good 2 or 3 just like, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so cool. Yeah,
Cool.
You guys want to hold down the fort? I got to go take a squirt.
go for it.
Yeah.
Do we want to get, where's Rich?
Well, actually, I kind of got to do the same thing. So
Do you?
it's been a pleasure, guys.
I'll do a solo thing for a
Where's
little bit.
Fr-
I can rant. I can talk to the camera. What's up?
All right, you do a monologue. We're
What's
gonna
up,
go take
world?
a leak next to each other.
Okay.
You know what? I'll keep you company.
All right. All right. All right. This episode of the Formula Hooligan podcast is brought to you by Newport Propane.
Wait. Now, Alex, does anyone even use propane anymore?
Do you live under a rock, Charles?
Well, I know you can grill with it.
Uh-huh.
But can you cook on the stove with it?
Yes.
Heat the house with it?
Of course.
Warm up the pool?
Mhm.
Fuel my flamethrower so I can melt snow with it?
All right, slow down, Charles.
Well, what about when the lights go
A
out?
propane generator will do you right.
Okay. So who would I talk to if I want propane in my house?
Newport Propane, of course. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years now, so I'd say they know a thing or two about propane installation and delivery. delivery. Not to mention, they'll come out and give you a free estimate on any propane systems you're thinking about adding to your home.
Sounds good to me. How do I get in touch with them?
You can call them at 401-847-6878 or visit them online at newportpropane.com. That's 401-847-6878 or newportpropane.com. Newport Propane, proudly serving the Rhode Island area for over 60 years. What are you drinking tonight, Ken? Smells delicious.
What am I drinking? Something that I got in the...
It doesn't smell like a Pioneer Valley brewery.
No. Usually if you step into Damn It Dave's trailer, there's some interesting things to sample. All high quality.
Okay. All right. I've noticed there's cigars on occasion.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Top notch.
Yet to sample one of them, but I believe you. I know the beer is top notch. Thank you very much again,
Yeah.
Pioneer Valley / Dave Nadu, for giving us these drinks to, I mean, basically everybody. I pretend like this is a sponsorship, like we're special, but no, it's to everybody. Everybody who shows up.
You know, it's nice having a beer guy here.
That's so nice. I mean, he's got a
Think
different...
about it. Look at the kegerator he made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different beer every time, on tap, and plenty of red Solo cups to go around.
Exactly.
Once the last field is done, drinking time starts. Start the party.
It's a nice way to end a hot day with a nice cold beer.
Yeah.
Companionship.
Mm-hmm. And cornhole and podcasts.
There you go.
It's actually cold right now.
Yeah, it is. You should
I'm a
see
little
the smoke
freezing.
coming off my urine in there. My God.
Did it smell all right?
No, it was pretty bad, actually.
Was it?
And never wear sandals when you can't see when you're
Oh,
peeing.
no. Oh, God.
Well, actually, that works out pretty good because you know it helps you aim.
Yeah, you'll know if you're not aiming correctly. That's correct.
Yeah, you know you're not
that's
hitting
true.
it when your feet are getting wet. Oh. It's a good thing I got a shower where I'm going.
I know.
Well, that's the thing
bastard.
about it. You know, when it's so hot like it was today, and it's like no matter how much you drink, it's brown.
Yeah.
Brown?
No,
It's
yeah.
just so
Okay,
hot.
well, you might want to get something checked, you know, or maybe
Well, I am old.
stay off those rest stop bathrooms, you know, with the holes in there.
Well, those are the best kind.
So, Charlie boy, how do you think you're going to do tomorrow at the...
I have no idea. I think it's gonna. This is so stupid to say, but I feel like it's gonna be either go really well or really bad. You know,
What class?
World Formula Light with you, right?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys will be on
I
track
can
tomorrow.
guarantee you, it'll be like Harrison, Elias, and me, just like let's link up, and
It's not
probably
going to...
not gonna.
No.
It won't
See,
work out that way.
Again, it's one of those things where like everybody thinks about doing the right thing,
Right.
And then you all go out there and you're like,
It's
"Wah!" it
instinctive,
just all
yeah.
goes away.
It typically
No, but like,
you're gonna do the right thing for about 18 minutes, and those, or well, today it was an 18-minute race.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be a 20-minute race. You're gonna do everything right for 18 minutes, and there's gonna be those 2 minutes you're gonna think about for next
Yeah.
month.
Yes.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, I want to get to the front, not be first, but get to the front if I can. You know.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. There may
I mean,
be multiple
that's-
packs.
if
We
you-
all want that.
Well, no, but I mean, everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it, you know, just hang back and blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. It just seems like still not that long of a race.
Just race smart and don't do anything
Jesus.
jerky.
Yeah, just be smooth.
Is he putting shit down my shirt?
I still think, though, with my luck, I probably will just miss a turn. You know what I mean? Just blow a turn.
That's what Rich did
I'll be
today.
like, wait, what? We're supposed to go this way? Ah, shit.
Just drive around the bus
Actually,
stop.
no, this way, or this format of the layout of the track, there's only one way to go. Unless
That's-
you take a right in the on the back straight there, like the old infield there. That's it. You can't.
You're not going to do that, though.
No.
Oh, even on this track, I've seen people end up backwards going the wrong way. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's true. There's no shortage of surprises that can happen in the NHKA.
The correct answer, by the way, is first place.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yes.
Go big or go home.
That's right.
So, Ken,
Now, I believe, though, when you bang on the back of your helmet, it means that you want a little bit of a lift, right?
not allowed.
No.
Not allowed. No bump drafting. Where is
No. No, we never bump draft
he?
out there.
Don't say
Right.
bump drafting too loud
None
in
of
front of
that.
Mike.
There's actually two.
He
It's-
doesn't.
I can honestly tell you,
It's a
there
friendly push.
Dave today in the chicane.
Oh, he
now
admits to
that's-
it.
I think that's just called a penalty. Oh, there
That's
you go.
true. Yeah.
I didn't bump draft anybody today. I had some incidental contact.
That's fine. I remember him saying in the driver's meeting that incidental contact is okay. It's fine.
It's contact.
Well, apparently
sport.
when you get waved off after the front stretch, that maybe that's a little more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I was racing behind Tom Prioli. We were trying to catch up with the carts in front of us, and I thought I had a gauge that was that far off. Well, apparently I was giving him the tip because he started waving me off.
Oh, I see. I see.
So smooth.
Yep. Wow. That's smooth. You don't even know you hit them.
I honestly didn't know.
Christ.
The times
Wow.
I attended to hit him, I knew.
yeah. Yep.
Now you got the 360 camera thing, don't you? Is that you that
Brett-
takes those videos or no?
Yeah, that's on Brett's cart. So if you see one of our carts doing really, really well, it's not me.
But how does that work? So it's literally just spinning the whole time?
No,
and
it's actually got two
How does
camera lenses, one
Right.
in the front, one in the back.
Right.
And they shoot us
it does like a
180
panoramic.
degree sphere.
More or less. Yeah, it's like
Two panoramics.
It's not even panoramic because it's all around. You could
It's
look
a sphere.
up and yeah.
180 degree
Gotcha.
sphere,
Yep.
well, like 178 degree sphere on the front and the back.
That is
and
pretty
then
cool.
it uses software to compute.
Sounds expensive.
No, they're cheap. They're $399.
Really? $399?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Because think about it, the
Not
two
bad.
cameras I'm running on my cart back when I bought them were
I
$399.
kind of do
Right.
want to get one. I'm not gonna lie. Especially like my family back. They're always like,
Yeah, to see what you
so
do.
what do you, they don't. No one. Let's be honest. No one understands go karting.
Right.
They
No,
all
they
assume
don't.
like I'm going to one of those like mini golf places.
Oh,
where
yeah.
They're
Kitty
like,
karting.
yeah. They're like, why do you need to
So does
spend
that-
the night like when you're going up there? I'm like, well,
Do you need two people to race that cart? Because there's
Yeah.
two seats.
I do like those kitty carts though. Where are you from, by the way? Again?
Well, I live in Groveland, Mass.
Oh, okay. Because in Hanover, Mass, they have this go-kart track at Starland that's been there forever. They have like a nitrous button, which actually they have at.
What are it, electric carts?
No, it's not electric.
What?
It just gives you more power somehow for a short period of
Are
time.
these like little putt-putt carts?
Yeah.
Oh,
It takes the
okay.
rev limiter off.
Yeah.
But it's still
yeah.
pretty cool. That's right. Yeah, good point. But they do have the electric carts over in Gillette that are. They have a turbo boost. So if you don't touch anybody, you can get a little bit of extra boost.
Dude,
I hate that place.
I don't like that place either.
And it's
Not a fan.
expensive. It's bad.
Have you been, Ken?
Don't go.
Been to
No.
Supercharged?
No.
R1 is
Don't-
okay.
R1 was fun.
R1 is great.
We need to
I
actually
like
do
R1.
it. Yeah, we need to do another trip down there. Get
Yes.
I
everybody
think
to
we
go down
should
there.
this winter
Yes.
or whatever once the season ends.
Or something
Yeah.
else we should do is get another group to go down to OVRP. The World Formulas.
Yep.
Well,
I
you
didn't
just
do it
had
last
an
time.
event there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
206s.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yep.
Did anyone here go?
I don't think so.
I couldn't
There
make
was-
it last time.
There
I would
was
like to
a.
try it. I hear it's a good track.
It
Dude,
looks
it's
like a
perfect for four-stroke. It's perfect. You run like a 4.2 gear ratio, which is pretty high.
Wow.
So you feel like when you're coming out of corners, it's like whoa, and you don't really get that in four-stroke. Unless
you got
do that.
torque.
You mean more acceleration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. and So it's a blast. That track is an absolute blast. Now, I actually they have some fun things they do out there. Like the
Yeah.
community out there is really cool.
Oh, they're a great group.
Yes. I won through a raffle or something out there. I won like a free entry for this year. So technically, like I do kind of have to go. But in a two-stroke, I feel like I'd be dead like halfway through
Yeah.
a race. There's so many quick corners and it's so bumpy and kind of crappy. Even though they only repaved it like 4 years ago, it's still bumpy, super shitty. Fun track still. I'm not knocking it.
Well, you look at the videos from there.
Yep.
Now, is that the cart-to-cart contact there? Is it as much as you're seeing in the videos? The race there efficiently, are
So-
you really banging that much?
I don't know, only because every time I've gone, I've only raced with the New Hampshire crew.
Okay, so
We went down and raced World Formula. Nobody races World Formula except for us.
right.
So it was just us racing like
Okay.
we usually do. As far as like what I witnessed with the two-stroke stuff that usually happens there, I can't say I noticed it, really.
Okay.
It seemed pretty clean from what I watched. Yeah, but great group of guys. Really fun to race for them.
Well, they seem like a great group. Yeah.
Yeah, really laid back.
Yeah.
Really laid back. Like, I mean, I've never seen them do like even tech inspection or anything like that. Hey, whatever. I don't know what the tire rules are. I mean,
Well, we don't cheat.
No, we don't cheat. That's right. I don't even know how to cheat if I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of racing.
I'm
Yeah.
not smart enough to cheat.
That's what I say.
You know, I just
I
take
told my girlfriend that once, but I don't know if that really works.
So what the girl you were with said?
What's that?
I said the girl that you were with at the
Oh,
time.
my
What did she say?
Yeah, I'm not with her.
All right, I think it's my turn to go take a leak
All
here.
right.
I'll be back. Put this down.
So do you follow Formula One at all?
Yeah,
A little bit.
a little bit.
Did you watch the last race? It was probably the best one of the year.
Yeah.
It was.
That was well, Hungarian.
I'm gonna come back real quick. I'm gonna talk about this.
Wow, that's fast as I've seen him move all day long.
Yeah, wait, the last one wasn't it Hungarian Grand Prix or which one?
Oh, geez, 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
At least. Well, Ocon won,
Right.
and it was the rain race, but I'm trying to think of where it was now. The name is.
Oh, where's Red at? He always fills me in on the
Yeah,
details.
Alex will fill us in when he gets back. But what the hell was going on there in the beginning? Because Lewis Hamilton, why would he not pit? It made no sense. It was almost like
Think
some
about
of the
that.
decisions don't make sense.
You
in
got
Formula
the
One.
you got the whole
All the money.
field on
Right.
pit road.
For a
He's
reason.
out there by himself, and he knows he's
He's
screwed.
not going to gap him that much, obviously. What did he think he was going to do? It just,
But when you're the leader, you're screwed. No matter what you do, if the whole field does something different.
yeah.
But
Well, but didn't they know? Because, no, I guess, yeah, if you're the leader, you wouldn't know necessarily. He gambled and just, but the track was, I don't know.
you know what? The strategy, Mercedes. What are they doing this year? I mean, their strategy calling has been awful.
Yeah, I think maybe they're just resting on their laurels. But it's funny that Bottas ended up taking out both Red Bulls first turn, first lap. Couldn't have planned it any better.
I mean,
If
what's
it wasn't
going
for Hamilton it up, but
what's going on with Verstappen? You know, he's leading the points, and all of a sudden, 2 races in a row, Mercedes takes him out.
Kinda weird.
And that was some pretty sketchy driving.
yeah, and Max honestly should be way up in points because he got taken out twice now
In a
Remember, he
row.
had 2 accidents. Yeah, he should have had 2 more wins.
Because Hamilton took him out.
Oh yeah, and then he got taken out by that shitty Pirelli tire. Could have been a real bad wreck. I mean, it was a bad wreck. But
It
he
was a
fine.
bad wreck. It was good to see him get out of there.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, it's amazing. The safety in Formula One now, it's like, I dare to say they've almost hit a pinnacle. I don't even know if you could get safer.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
the pit crew, I mean the flaggers and stuff like that, but the car itself,
Well, like we were talking about earlier today, it's like, and with the track workers they have there, it's like watching a slapstick comedy some days.
it is. Well, and sometimes Formula One feels like you're watching a bunch of kids.
It does.
I mean, you look at like Schumacher, Mazepin, some of these other guys that just have no clue.
Yeah.
They're making mistakes that like I would think none of us would even make. You know, it's
Right.
like, what are you doing?
Well, the trouble with F1 is it's so expensive to get in there.
It's all just
You
paid
got a lot
away.
of drivers. Look at how many great drivers lost their seat or didn't get a seat
Yeah.
because this other driver's daddy has a lot of money.
But this is why the last race, I'm talking about Formula One now,
Very good.
what's the name of the track? Is it Hungarian Grand Prix or which one?
The Hungaro Ring.
Hungaro
in,
Ring,
in Hungary.
whatever.
Yes.
I was close.
Yep.
I
That is-
understood.
Is it in Austria or where is it? No, it's not Austria. That would be Red Bull Ring. Where? Is
So-
it
Hungary.
Hungary? okay.
Hungary. Yes.
So that's okay.
That's
Speaking of
where-
Hungary, I got some pizza in the back of the
Oh,
trailer.
dude.
If you want to tend to that pizza, you very well can.
I
Yeah,
am
Rich has
because
got the-
I have to make the run to the men's room. But thank you guys.
All right.
Did you actually?
Yes.
You didn't make that run yet.
No, he hasn't.
No, and I haven't
He's been a
dribbled
good
either.
guest. He's been a very good
I
guest.
Yeah,
appreciate thank
Holding the fort.
Appreciate your patience
Yes, no problem, Ken. Thanks for being on the show.
as I take out all your cords.
Yeah, no problem. And we have a third mic ready to go for whoever wants to take it. I don't think we're going to take yours right now.
So let's continue with Formula One though.
Yes.
Well, we don't have any guests.
Yes, yes, yes.
How awesome was it to see the old greats, Vettel and Alonso?
Yeah,
going at it? Well,
yeah.
actually, they weren't going at it. It was Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso going at it.
Correct.
Which was
But then Vettel
epic.
challenging for the lead the whole time.
Amazing.
Oh, it was.
That was the best race of this year.
Yeah, debatably yes. Yep, it was friggin' fantastic. I would have never picked Ocon to
But
be. Even
he
in the podium
drove
places, never mind winning.
flawlessly. He made no
Right,
mistakes.
right, and like I kind of was very critical of when he got the 3-year contract all of a sudden this year. Like it was kind of weird. He got a 3-year contract earlier this year, like an extension, and I was like, why? What? He's never done anything special, and then yet a few races later he goes out and he just stays out in the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and like you said, he was flawless. Made no mistakes with a 4-time champion chasing down.
It just goes to
The whole
show you,
time.
though, that, all these people, you see race after race, finish at the back, and you're like, oh, they suck.
Yep.
I mean, clearly not the case.
Not the case, no.
You know?
But, like, Esteban has never really impressed me because his teammate is Fernando Alonso. And Alonso initially wasn't too great with the Alpine car. Now he is. And it didn't seem like I'm going to go back to it, but when he was given the 3-year extension, I was like, why? What has that kid done? But now he's proven himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he'll be like the next Sergio Perez or I was going to say,
I
not
don't know.
Alex Albon, because he sucks.
I don't know. I mean,
Albon took a step back.
so Ocon still isn't like one of these really super talented guys to me yet, to the point where like he could be one of these one-hit wonders. There's plenty of guys who've just won one race in their career, and that's it.
Maybe just retire then. Just be
No,
like, I won,
he's
I'm out.
too young. He's too young. He was out of Formula One for a year and came back, which is pretty impressive. No, he's still got to stick in it. He can't retire. It was
Well,
also.
is he running a Peugeot? What is it?
There's no Peugeot in Formula One right now. Alpine, the Renault
No,
team,
but it's the
basically
Renault, right?
Yeah. It's a Renault motor. Yep. Yeah, that was why everybody hates the fact that Sebastian Vettel was disqualified.
Oh, that's
Which
right.
sucks.
I totally forgot about that.
Sucks.
So
Yeah.
So wait, what ended up happening? So did Lewis move to second? Or
Yeah, so Lewis moves to second, Carlos Sainz takes third, right? Which is funny because it's like the second time Carlos Sainz has taken a podium afterwards because of some sort of penalty or whatever.
Yeah.
Which sucks because he can't go enjoy it in the moment and do the champagne and all that shit. But yeah, Vettel disqualified because he did not meet the rule where you have
that's
to have
right,
a
when you
liter
told me
of
the fuel, right? Or
right.
something?
You have to give a liter of fuel to the FIA after the race so they can just test it, make sure you're not running anything illegal. But it has to be 1 liter, and they had like a third of that.
Bullshit.
It's
I mean,
I don't know why you need a liter, right? But
You said to test it, enough to test it, right? To make
enough
sure
to
they're
test it. I
running,
mean,
like,
a liter's a lot of liquid, though. I mean, like when
Yeah,
they
a
test the
liter?
fuel here for us, when they do a tech inspection, they just drop the little thing in there and go like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
pretty good.
like what do you call that paper? The old.
Yeah.
Litmus papers.
I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, super unfortunate. They tried to appeal it, and I think like as of yesterday, they finally just said like it's not worth it. We're just gonna withdraw
I
the
never even
appeal.
saw anything other than you talking about it. I never found anything about it.
Really?
I actually just watched a recap on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you might
today.
have
They
to
didn't
go
even
look
mention
for
it.
it. You might have to
It's
go
weird.
look for it.
So Lewis freaking made up more ground, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And did he get fast lap too?
No, who got fastest lap? Shit. Oh, I think it was like Pierre Gasly. It was one of these guys that came in
Oh,
because
really?
because he had the gap, enough of a gap to come in, get fresh softs, and then go back out, and then make the fastest lap. So no, he didn't get the fastest lap. But everybody from third place back made up a spot, which actually Max Verstappen, who finished 11th out of the points, now he got into 10th, so that's 1 point. The 2 Williams kids, now they're even higher up. Which, dude, Williams got their first points in forever, but not only just their first points,
Right.
a double points finish.
Yeah, where'd Russell finish? 9th?
So I think 9th and 8th initially, but because of the move up, now it's
Incredible. And
7,
George
8.
Russell, didn't he have some weird situation where he had to give a bunch of positions back? He would have
So-
done better, right? If he didn't. Remember, he passed someone in
No.
pit lane. He had to give a bunch of positions back.
Correct. No, you're correct. Yes. So what happened was, if you think about the Williams pit lane is at the end of pit lane. You know how
Yeah.
Mercedes is the first stall, Williams is the last stall, right?
Right.
So I'm assuming what happened is George Russell comes in, does his pit stop, and then has to wait at the end of the pit lane because remember it's the restart of the race. You can't leave the pit lane, right?
Right.
And I
he
think
must have
what
jumped
happened
the gun.
was you
Yeah, he
had
must have
you had other cars that were already lined up in the pit lane, right? So that when he took his pit stop and came out, he's already right next to him. So
Was that a pterodactyl? What was that
it's a
thing?
moth. What happened was he comes out with the rest of them as soon as the green light goes off. Which, by the way, how weird was it to see one car on the starting grid?
It was awesome.
Never seen that in my life.
I think it was cool.
Closest thing I've ever
As
seen.
if he had a chance, too. We were just talking, me and Ken, about that, how
Yeah.
dumb it was. Why would Mercedes do that?
It's not Mercedes' fault. It's Lewis's fault.
Why'd you say that?
The team is not allowed to talk to the driver during the formation lap.
Oh,
So-
okay, so that makes it more of a challenge then, because now Lewis doesn't know what everyone's going to do because he's not being spoken to.
Right. So it's not like anybody's telling him from the Mercedes pit wall, come in,
And
come
so
in, box,
since
box.
he's leading the race, he doesn't know what everyone else is going to do.
Right, and it's kind of customary in these situations to do the opposite of the leader anyway. So if he came in, I'm sure guys behind him would have thought, I'll stay out. But this is a weird situation where
Oh, yeah,
the
so I
track...
never looked at it this way. Okay.
This is a different situation, though, because the track was clearly dry. Like, there was no reason to be on any type of
Yeah.
rain tire whatsoever.
Why would he have thought?
I don't know. And, like, the one thing that a lot of people point towards is that because they have the first pit stall, right, and they're all lined up, line and stern, just brrr, like that, 20 cars, or 16, however many made it out of the wreck after the first lap.
Oh, that's right.
If he came in and pitted, right, he goes up, comes down with the new tires, there's a line of cars passing him now on the left-hand side going through pit lane. He wouldn't have been able to come out of the pit stall. He would have been stuck. You know what I mean?
Why would he be stuck?
Because all the cars behind him are also coming into the pit lane to go to their pit boxes. But that's a lot of cars, and Mercedes has the first stop. So while he's being serviced, here comes the rest of the field. He can't get released while the rest of the field is coming down the pit lane to get to their stalls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he could have been delayed. However, he still would have been in the same group and wouldn't have had to pit and then be all the way in last place.
So you know what that race shows you though too is like obviously how good of a driver he is, but how dominant Mercedes is. To be able to
and
that bad and then
and
I mean it's
it
not even
hasn't
fair.
always been that way this season either because it
No,
looked like
but
Red Bull
it's-
has had the better car at times.
But we don't know what Red Bull had. I mean Max was running on fumes.
Well,
I don't even know how that cart was driving. Did you see
Did
the
you-
side of it?
Yes, the picture where the whole entire floor on the
looked
right
like the
side is
Titanic.
gone. Yeah.
Hey man, go bother Alex. Look at the size of him. Like that's Mothman prophecy right there. Look at his mouth going.
So yeah, that was crazy. Max even finished the race, dude. And I don't even know why Checo didn't finish. He
was just knocked out in the beginning by Bottas.
But I mean, so was Max. If you think about it.
Yeah, but it was catastrophic, obviously.
Yeah, I just don't. The only reason I say I don't know what happened is because literally I don't know the damage that was sustained.
No, I
to
mean there was a
Checo's
bunch
car.
of. You know what? No one gives grief to Lance Stroll. He blatantly took out like one of the Ferraris
he
there
did
too.
the
Remember?
same thing that Valtteri did. He just
Yeah,
totally
just-
misjudged his braking.
But it's like, come
and
on,
like
man,
jumped
it's
into
wet.
the
What are
inside
you
of the
doing?
apex and smacked Leclerc coming out.
Bogus move, man.
Oh yeah, entirely bogus. Yep. But
I mean-
it did set up for an awesome race.
You almost wonder though, they told Bottas to do that. They're like, listen, we need
No.
you to go and beat both Red Bulls today. And he's like, I know. I'm gonna go bowling. Take them both out. Just freaking plow through them.
Right. No,
I
I
was
don't.
screaming. That would have been a great race to do a live podcast on.
Right,
'Cause
which is
I was literally yelling and screaming like people. My neighbors probably think I'm nuts because it was so
Yeah.
funny. Like it was just that was the best start of a race.
yeah, it was insane. Which we should do that, by the way, is watch a race.
Yeah, we
live.
got to remember to do that. Where are they next time?
They're at Spa.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of the classics.
Love that. Yeah.
Yep. That's what they always do. They take a break in August, and then when they come back to it, it's always Spa.
Nice.
And then I think it's Spa, then Monza. It's usually like two of the classic tracks
fun ones, yeah.
back to back.
I love it.
But they're also going to, I think, Zandvoort soon.
No way.
Yeah, the Dutch
Get
Grand
out.
Prix.
Wait, hasn't it been a while since they've been there? Did they go last year? I don't
No,
remember.
dude, it's been decades since they've been there.
They're really going there now. It's been redone.
Correct. It's been redone to have like Daytona type banking at the last corner.
We know that through the
And
sim,
then,
and it's crazy
yep.
how much faster it is with
Yeah.
that banking.
Yes, yeah, it's way because it used to be just flat basically beforehand.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That'll be. I don't
Not a
think
lot
that-
of passing there,
No,
though.
I don't think it's
Like
going to be the
none.
greatest race. Yeah, it's going to
gonna
be
be
like.
like,
Well, they say the Hungaro ring is like Monaco without the walls. I think.
don't believe that at all. I never have. There's always some passing there.
No, not
You have
really.
turn 1, then you actually turn 1, 2,
Yeah,
3, 4.
turn one's
So
a good
basically the beginning of the
opportunity.
track, like the whole.
You're kind of right. No. I think. I'll come back on what I was gonna say, and yeah, I think you're
And
right because there was the
In
opportunity.
Formula One, how many turns are there where you have a good chance of passing? There's never that many.
No,
I mean,
and they usually
don't let Rick
DRS.
hear this, That's true.
Yeah,
You
wherever
know?
he is.
We need our flappy DRS flaps to
Yeah,
initiate passing.
yeah. Most of the time, which is unfortunate. Hopefully, next year's car is going to take care of that. But
Yeah, that'll
we'll
be.
see.
I don't even know what to think yet about that. I'm actually not in favor of it because
Why?
they're slower. That's what they've been saying. They're going to be
slower.
slower.
Isn't necessarily. It's not that much slower.
But wait, they have said it's going to be better racing, but
Yes.
slower. So, AKA
Yes.
IndyCar. Well, when I say slower, I
No.
don't mean top speed. I mean, times,
No.
track time, lap times.
It's not going to be IndyCar though, dude, because you're still going to have the customization.
So
or
you
not
don't
the
think what
customization, but the different
I heard
designs.
some rumors it's going to be like a second or more slower on per lap.
I think it's supposed to be 3
3 seconds.
to 5. But that's still way, way, way faster.
Then IndyCar.
Yes.
But it's still
Yes.
why are we going back?
Think about it. It's going to be a little bit less downforce with the same motors. The motors that make 1,000 horsepower with less downforce, which means less drag, which means like wicked high top speeds.
So
Imagine
more top
Monza.
speed, but just less downforce, so slower times, but better
Yes.
racing because they can race in dirty air.
Right, and that has a lot to do with not just the fact that it is a little bit less downforce, but the downforce it does produce, the majority of it is produced by the under tray of the car,
Right.
and not over the top wings and
Right.
winglets and barge boards and
It's
bullshit
like the
like
street
that.
cars you see in the Ferraris. They
Yeah.
don't have any wings. Isn't that crazy? All these new
Yeah,
fancy cars,
well, if you-
all underneath. It's all underneath.
Underneath, and you'll even like the Ferrari 488 or 458, you see like little winglets within the grills and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got a question for you because
Ooh.
it was the biggest question in Formula One before the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hungarian, whatever.
I know. I can't say it. Clearly, I don't even know where it is.
Because we didn't talk about this in the last podcast, is Silverstone. You watched Silverstone, right?
Well, yeah, that was when Max got dumped.
Right. Is that what you believe happened? What do you think?
I'm going racing incident.
No.
I mean, well, hold on. I
Not
I
in
am
my
torn
opinion.
because later in that race, Leclerc and Lewis had the same exact incident and they didn't
No,
hit.
it wasn't an incident.
Well, that's
Correct.
because wasn't it also because Leclerc went way wide to avoid it? Or am I thinking of a different turn?
Not really.
No.
Nope. No, I
Pretty sure.
put Lewis Hamilton at 100% blame. Here's the thing, dude. Here's what I
missed the
saw.
apex.
He missed the apex. He drifted
Yeah.
up. He smacked into Verstappen, and then that was that.
Yeah.
Now, plenty of people say like, "Oh, Verstappen didn't leave in the room," and it's like, what world do you live in where you can just understeer off the apex and it's like, "Oh, it didn't leave me room"? If that was an F3 race, if that was a go-kart race, if that was an anything else race, and there wasn't bias
All
towards
right.
other drivers, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like this. There's this thing in Formula One, and we've talked about it before, where like, for some reason, it gets to a point where the drivers can just claim the line or claim the track
Yeah,
once
it's
you
a
get so
bougie
far
sport,
up.
you
And
know?
I don't get that. It's just like, oh, once I'm halfway up, the other guy,
Yeah.
it's my line now. And it's like, where else does that exist?
It's true. It's a different. Yeah.
And I hate that shit. And that's what people argue when they try to argue towards Hamilton. Like, oh, well, he was halfway up. It was his corner. And it's like, who says that?
Yeah, it's racing. It doesn't mean you can miss the apex and take
No,
out the other guy.
no, it doesn't mean you can just understeer off the. And I don't think it was on purpose.
Yes,
I
I
just
don't
think it was an accident. I think he
Right.
just totally misjudged his braking, and he just understeered into Max. That's the way I see. Like if any
Yeah.
if any of you did that in a kart race to me, I'd be bullshit.
Well,
That's-
the sucky thing is, though, I've been there, and well, not here, thankfully, but in rentals, like the bumper cars. as
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call 'em. And yeah, you just push wide a little bit, and it sucks, and you don't mean to do it, but
No.
And I'm sure that's what happened. He won't admit it though. He'll never.
He didn't. I got a bad. Like, I have nothing against Lewis, but I do have to say I had a bad taste in my mouth with him after that race. It just
He's pompous.
the way that like. Yeah, and like he's even saying like, you know, when you cut down on me, I don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. And it's
down.
like,
You
did
wouldn't
you
cut
not?
down.
You were there. Did you not even understand what you just did?
Yeah.
You totally
Just
missed
look at
the
replay.
corner.
Look at the blimp view. Come on. You know,
Yeah.
just get out there. And,
Well, and like you said, later on in the race, he overtakes Leclerc in the exact same way, and he makes the apex this time, and no problem. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just-
I'm still a big Lewis fan, but I'm not rooting for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
kinda like
it's
when I
boring
used
to
to
see
watch-
him win it 8
It's
times
like
in
when I
a
used to
row.
watch Michael Jordan. I never rooted for him, but I was a fan, you know?
Yeah.
Or the way people are about Tom Brady now, but...
You got to take a seat, Vic, and get on this here.
You're talking my topics.
All right. Take that microphone, hold it about a fist away from your face. We'll talk some Formula One here. So you were just hearing what I was saying. What do you think?
Talk, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly what you're saying about Lewis.
Yep.
One thing, nobody can take the talent that he has.
Right.
And he's been in the best car the last 7 years.
Yep.
But he's the biggest crybaby in the sport.
He is.
If you remember either 17 or 18 British Grand Prix, when Raikkonen spun him on the first lap, and when Vettel won and he came back to finish second, he didn't even, after the trophy ceremony, he ran away, never talked. It
Yep.
was like, you know, that's the only problem I have with Lewis.
Yeah, wasn't he
Yeah.
even bitching about Fernando Alonso racing him, too? Didn't he have complaints
Well,
about him in that
here's-
race, too?
here's the thing
Wouldn't
that
he
I've-
say, like,
here's the
oh,
thing-
Yeah, on the radio, he was saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's two moves."
Yeah, 2 moves or
but
something, right?
remember a race ago, what did you do, Lewis Hamilton? In
Exactly.
The fastest corner
E-
of the
exactly.
track that you know from back
Yeah.
of your head, you know
Right.
how it is. And Alonso actually won the race for.
Well, that close to you. There you go.
Alonso won the race for Ocon. If
Yep.
Alonso
He did, yeah.
didn't help
Yes.
Lewis for 5 laps,
Yep.
You
Lewis
think-
would
you
have
think he
caught up
would've-
both
You
of
think he
them.
would have passed Ocon, too?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so. He
Yeah.
had the
If
speed.
Alonso wasn't there to defend,
If
Yeah.
Lewis passed him on the first attempt,
You're
probably he
assuming
would caught him.
you're assuming he would have got by Vettel. Maybe Vettel would have held him up. Maybe.
No,
it's
he
You know
all
what Vettel
debatable.
would have done? He
It's-
would have wrecked him. That's what he-
No,
He would've
Vettel,
busted him,
he would have spun himself. Being
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
Vettel fan, but
yeah.
No, but
he
he's
spins
like,
himself sometimes. You know how it does happen. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but it's getting
Yeah.
interesting. 2 race.
Yeah.
Look at the point swing.
I know.
I didn't
Yeah.
even
So
look.
now
after
we
the
have a
last
race
so
going
what,
on.
What are the points? Do you know?
So now
roughly?
Lewis has the
Well,
championship
with
lead
the-
again.
Does he?
Yep.
With the Vettel disqualification upheld, I think.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
it's
So
8
he's
points now.
DQ'd now.
Huh?
So Vettel
Officially.
goes from 2 to last.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
No points.
That sucks.
It does, but you know, rules are rules.
Poor guy. Yeah.
For a team that it's like coming up, 18 points. That would have been 18 points at the end of
Yeah.
the season. It's big time money.
Correct.
With points that you accumulate, they
Yeah.
get money
So
back.
now points. It's got to be then. It's Mercedes, obviously Red Bull, and then McLaren, right?
Right now with the
McLaren
Lando-
and
Actually,
Ferrari are
Ferrari's
tied,
got
I
to be
think.
creeping up.
yeah, Ferrari's moving up little by little,
But
but
is Ferrari ahead of McLaren? Or
I'm
not
surprised of
I think they're real close.
I'm
like-
surprised of Ricardo's speed this year, man.
He sucks.
Where
But I
did
love
he?
him.
Where did he disappear all of
I
a
don't know.
sudden?
He's
I
like
don't
he's
know.
not in
I don't
it.
know. Did you see the video of him when he finished? He comes in the pits and he just sits in his car with like the head against the halo, just like
Really?
yeah, all just now. Given this latest race, he was part of the first lap melee, so
Yeah.
he did have damage to the car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
you know you can't fully
Lando
judge him
Norris
for
is
it.
out driving the shit out of him.
Oh hell yeah!
Maybe
Yep.
Ricardo needs to get on a simulator.
I
Or
don't
just
know.
Stop,
Yeah,
Stop making jokes. He's always joking around.
yeah. I mean, not too much. This you don't see too much of Happy Daniel Ricciardo this year, which kind of sucks.
No,
You
it's
know?
funny and jokeable, you know, makes everybody
Yeah.
laugh, you know. But
Yeah.
for some reason, he cannot.
They're not televising him anymore either. He's not
Yeah.
as marketable. Now it's all Lando and
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Max
you know.
and Lewis.
it's all about you get points, you finish races. That's
Yep.
what it counts for team.
Yeah, Formula One is definitely high pressure. There's no doubt
Oh,
about it.
it's probably the highest pressure.
I mean,
Yeah, if you don't perform, you're you know.
some of
Yeah.
those lower team drivers, if you look at it, I mean, it's only few seconds. Sometimes comparing with Mercedes, you know, all these past few years is always like second fastest than anybody
Yep.
out there, you know.
Yep.
And it was like a switch that Lewis Hamilton had qualifying, you know, turns it on.
Party mode.
Party mode, yeah.
Whatever
Yep.
they call it, you know.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
but
I
the
want
car,
that.
the car is so superior to comparing to anybody. I mean, Red Bull
Red
is
Bull's been
closer
close.
this year.
Yep.
But it's still, I think Mercedes did few things. Their car seems faster the
Yep.
last two races.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean,
So-
it does.
So who's gonna be? Did Bottas? Was there another deal signed? I know Lewis signed another deal
No.
with Mercedes, but we don't know yet, right?
No. We
I
don't
just
know
saw
yet.
on Facebook actually. They're talking about
George Russell,
Bottas going to Red Bull, replacing Checo.
That
What?
makes no
I said-
sense.
I
It's
know
never
it's
gonna happen.
that
That-
no,
never
makes
gonna
no
happen.
sense
that can't
anymore.
happen.
I
Because
mean,
Checo is
well,
like up and coming.
I
we
mean,
we know that the right move, the move that should and hopefully will happen next year, is Russell into
it's
the
his
Mercedes.
seat. I mean, if Mercedes doesn't
Right.
give him that seat, I mean, what are they looking for?
I
Who
don't
they-
know.
And who doesn't want to see him bumping up against Lewis, right?
Right.
Okay, let him bump
Right.
up with Lewis, but you won't lose points like Bottas is losing this
No,
year.
you won't.
He doesn't have it in him this year.
No, he
That's
doesn't.
why he's decided on his own, I think, to leave the team because he doesn't have it in him anymore.
No. And
Oh.
it sucks. Like every year you watch the Drive to Survive shit, and it's like, this is my year. It never is his year.
And some races he's on it, and some races he's not.
It's been more
So,
off. More
yeah,
off this year.
More off than that.
Yeah,
But when he's
came,
out there, he never seems like he's driving to win. He's always just kind of.
he's just kind of out there floating.
He's.
You know, just out there.
I think after they
But
took-
usually a podium.
after they took
Well,
they took the
that's
win
car.
from him a few years back, I think was Hungary or wherever it was. He's not the same driver.
Think so?
Yeah. Remember, he was way up front, and they told him to let Lewis go by.
Yep.
And I couldn't get it that why they had to do that. They didn't need that 7 points at the end of the year, but what they're saying is every point counts at the beginning of the season. You don't know what happens at the end.
Yep.
So
Yep.
a lot of the guys that watch other races here than other Formula One, they don't get it how Formula One works.
Yeah.
You know, the points and the team order and the money that is involved. They keep changing all that rules to make those lower teams to shine. You know.
Did the cap go into place this year or is it next
Yes,
year?
this year.
Is it
Yeah.
this year?
This year.
Coming up here.
Which actually, that's been a big topic this year because of all the wrecks that have been happening. There's actually teams complaining, saying that other teams who cause the wrecks should pay for our bill because you only have so much money this year.
Yeah.
That's a good
Oh.
point. I mean,
Well, it started with Red
That's
Bull.
not how it works in
It
karting,
started
so-
with Red Bull.
No.
They said, "Oh, it cost us 1.7 million
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the car."
yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah.
happens to us here if somebody wrecks you, axle and everything for us, and the go-kart
Yep.
goes out of your pocket?
Right. Right.
Oh, I misjudged my braking. Boom.
Yeah.
Axel is
that's where
gone.
you just threaten to just tie a cinder block to his ankle and drop him off in the nearest lake.
Oh, Jesus! I'm never running you over. Christ.
I've only run him off the road once, and I was in a rental league.
The
remember?
rental carts, yeah, indoor shit. How did you do today, Vic?
Wasn't running at all in the race. Couldn't get speed. Changed the gears with what the other guys had, but I couldn't get RPM.
Really?
Yeah. Barely hit 55 a couple of times.
You guys got to wrap it up. It's way past curfew.
Oh, it is
Bosses
true.
are
No,
here,
I'm
so-
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
You're not making too much noise. You're good.
Thank you.
Said
We
generator.
do have the question though of he technically still has to leave, and he's still in the gates at the
I
moment.
can't tell you publicly how to get out of here.
Okay, all right, we'll wait till we're off air.
Yeah, I couldn't get the speed. So I went backwards. I don't know what was the problem. We went and checked on it, running okay. We changed the fuel pump, so I don't know if it's that is. So I'm gonna give it a try.
Yep.
But I got my big baby with me this weekend. So
Your
I'm
big
good.
baby?
Yeah.
What do you
got
mean?
the shifter with me.
Oh,
Just
I got
the
you.
new frame and then with the
Oh
and
wait, so
everything.
did you smash up a shifter like a few races ago?
No. I haven't
Oh, that
driven
wasn't
it.
you.
I haven't
Okay.
driven it this year. So.
I'm trying to figure out who it was that.
No, it was.
And my class is back to back tomorrow. 206 and shifters back to back. So I don't know how the hell I'm gonna pull that off. But
Wow.
what I'm gonna do, I think, as long as I qualify both of them and then pull up a couple laps early with the 206.
Yep.
I'm running fifth and sixth, so it doesn't make a difference,
Yeah, yeah.
Just pull in early, get a breather, get a drink before jumping in the other one.
Pee in
Yeah.
your suit and you're good.
Yeah.
He technically, well, it's all the Le Mans
With the
starts.
shifter,
So.
you have to prep it before you put it on the ground, so you have to have it at like a 110
You gotta
temperature,
ready-
just
Yep.
like the Rotex.
Sure.
You
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So it's not like the 4-stroke. You just
Pull it
start
and
it
go.
out
Pull and go.
Like you're mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I told Mike to swap, but he says, not gonna work. But he says
Well-
we'll help you out. Just make sure you tell Greg and everybody at the grid,
Right.
But especially with the Le Mans stuff, so you have to pull them all the way out and put them on the ground, so we have time.
Yep. That's gonna be something in the shifter.
And it's not that hot tomorrow, it's a little bit easier. So.
Yep.
70s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 73.
Yeah,
like
it should be
the most.
beautiful.
Yep.
It's going to be sunny all day. Maybe the track is a little bit warmer than the temperature,
Yep.
but overall, for the feel on the go-kart and with the speed, so it's much comfortable.
Yep.
A few years back, the last race was here at Canaan. We raced at 40 degree, 42 degree.
Oh my
all day long.
God.
This was in
It
the
didn't
summer?
go above 45.
How do you get
last
temp
race.
into the
Just like
friggin'?
this year, October race, but it was like 40 some odd degrees. I had my
Wow.
long johns from home, put them on because I drove up in the morning.
Yep.
All I needed is come, get the points to finish second
Yep.
for the season. So
Yep.
I showed up. It was a skating rink the first
I can
two
imagine, dude.
practices.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
At least it was dry though, right?
Yeah. But
But it was like hockey pucks out there.
yeah, it was. Really.
Yep.
Especially with the shifter, we touch it a little bit harder, it spins around.
Yep.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah. That's the next step up for you. That one day.
Yeah. When I
As
make
we've all
when I
been
make a
saying.
lot more money.
In a few more years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Rick Brown.
Wow.
It's too much work.
I'm enjoying tag.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
it
plenty of
is.
people who have told me like, oh, it's so much more work compared to World 4. It's not that much more.
It's the
not.
jetting.
Yeah, the
It's
jetting's
more
not
in
even
the
that much
jetting
work.
And the road tax and the gearing,
Yeah.
You'll figure out your gearing, but the jetting, they have the app. They,
Yeah.
You don't go exactly by the app, I think,
I have
But the
been.
app gives you ballpark,
Sure,
know?
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some guys get the ballpark and then you try it a little more.
Yeah.
Just don't lean it too much. You don't want to blow the engine.
I
so
don't. No.
That's all.
No, I got
It
that engine
doesn't
for a
make
good
much
deal.
difference. Some of the guys lean them up and blow engines. You don't need to be that lean.
No.
And the fuel mixture is important too, I think, with them. So
Right. Right. Yep. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
yeah, it's a blast.
It is.
The run you had today was amazing.
Yeah. Had a great
I could see
time.
you pulling Ricardo. And at the
Really
end,
surprised
you
with
were
that.
moving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep.
sometimes you start fast, and for some reason it starts going backwards. Either you're tired or the tire pressure is more and it slows it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. You're gonna have a blast tomorrow, Charlie.
You drive it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't make it today.
No.
Yeah.
So it'd be tomorrow. First
Barely
time.
made it for the podcast.
Yeah. First time on the full track at Canaan.
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So
You'll have a blast.
Pop my cherry.
that's right.
All right.
All right. I am getting tired.
Sign off.
Yeah. I think it's time
Until
to
next
All right,
wrap
this
this
was
up.
good with you guys.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
yes.
you for
No
joining
problem.
us.
So
Appreciate it.
That's episode 9.
that's
in the books.
episode 9. I'm
All
Charlie. No, you're. I'm. Oh, you
I'm
can tell I'm
tired and
tired.
he's tireder. We'll
Yes.
see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Holy shit.
Right?